I'm gonna go live. Okay. Here I am. I thought I was live before. So, hi everybody, it's Ear Patsy. I'm over here on this Saturday afternoon, not doing any reading right now. I'm just using my platform to give uh, some other women or some other people that I was engaged with on a panel on another creator's channel, a place that they could get things off their chest and say something because right now they're dealing with someone who is he's been monopolizing the conversation. He's acting very clownish, and the women on the panel are just getting disgusted with the whole with all the shenanigans. And we were all put backstage all together, and everybody wanted to speak and they weren't being allowed to, but this dude was being allowed to monopolize the whole conversation. So I gave them the suggestion if they wanted to come over. I said somebody should just start a live. And how do we do that? Well, it was easiest for me to do it because I already have a channel. So excuse the interruption, but um, it's necessary for the community, my community. Um, Black women have been dealing with a lot of repressive energy and negativity, and just it's ridiculous at this point. And hi, Camo. Okay, so we got one visitor or one person here. Uh, I wonder how I do this. Do I do that? I don't know. I just saw I have her there. So I don't know how I get her to join. So invite. Okay. I can have up to 6 people on the screen. Okay. And this is. Hey, Camo. How do I bring her up? Give me a minute, girl, because I've never done it like this before. I wonder. Add. Okay. 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 I
You can
think.
hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay, because it said my mic was blocked. Yeah, I had to. I can't. I was like trying to wait to hear something,
Oh,
but it just
no.
was not coming out.
It was never going to. It was.
I,
He had too
I
much
wanted to ask you a
bankroll.
question
He had too much
yesterday,
bankroll this
but
morning.
I'll ask you since it's just me and you. What
Mm-hmm.
would you do? Because I've been thinking about this a lot. Because my son is, we got older children, and my son is about Austin's age, and I think your son was at some
Mm-hmm.
point was Austin's age. What would you do as a mother in this situation?
What situation of Austin's mom and him right now?
No, like if Austin was your son, what would you do?
I would
And
be trying to get him to come back to America.
would you want him to come direct? Would you allow him directly back into your home? I mean, and we're not saying your son. We're not going to say our sons because we know our children. We're going to say if we had a child like Austin, knowing all of the issues that we believe Austin have,
Right
would you?
now, yeah, because if you think he has some kind of a learning deficit, then you have to take that into account. So you gotta give him a little more. Great. Oh, thank you, Andre, for subscribing, babe. Um, you have to give him some grace. You have to take that into account as a parent. And so right now, when I feel like his life is being threatened, I would be bringing him back to my home where he's safe, and then he can get his own place right away because he got money. But you know what I'm saying? I'm going to give him a haven until he can get someplace else to stay because I'm sure his mother already made a gym out of his bedroom because I know I
Mhm.
would have. But you can't leave him out there. That's not teaching him a lesson, especially if he's slow. What's the
I
point?
would want to. I think if Austin was my son, because I truly believe, because sometimes there's things that some parents like. So I got a little brother, and no joke, I'm not lying. He act just like Austin, and
Mm-hmm.
I never talked about this on live or whatever, but there was a situation, and I'm not going to say too much about it, but a girl ended up becoming deleted or whatever that he's dealing with,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and he was questioned about it because they fought often, and she passed away in his home.
Mm-hmm.
like in their home. So it
Mm-hmm.
was suspected, that he deleted her, right? But
Hmm.
he didn't get charged with the issue or whatever.
Right.
And but we saw issues with my brother growing up, like just like Austin.
Hmm. What can you do?
Like he's handsome, he
Mm-hmm.
dressed really neat, he
Hmm.
speaks
He
well,
presents. He presents like a regular person, but it's
guy,
something
but we know
else.
something
Yeah.
is wrong with him.
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, this situation took place, and we don't, nobody was there, but it's always the thought of like what really happened, because he had other issues with women in the past or whatever. So my mom, because that was her son, as a matter of fact, she always, sometimes she would say, like, I don't care what nobody says, the school, anything. Like he's my son, and I don't believe that he did these things.
Right.
Even growing up, and
Mm-hmm.
Austin, gives me that same thing that my brother had, and my brother did also have a learning disability as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He was dyslexic,
Mm-hmm.
but I would myself would send Austin. I would let him know he needs to go directly to somewhere to get some type of help.
Well, I
Like
would, yeah, but wherever I would send him, it would be in the United States. I wouldn't be leaving him, you know, overseas. Even if
oh
I send
yeah,
him straight to rehab or straight to some kind of a psych ward, whatever the hell, but it wouldn't be me leaving him over there.
right. Because that's what I was
That
about to say.
that.
Like, I don't think I would, you know, it's sad because you would hate to think that your child would do things to you. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't think my son would, but my son is also not a Austin. But I think
Mm-hmm.
sometimes as parents, you have to think the worst just to save your child or whatever. And I
Or
think
to
Austin,
protect yourself, because
and
there's
protect yourself. You
people who
worked in a
deal
prison,
with
so you seen it all. You done
right.
seen it all. You seen kids that that hurt their harmed or deleted
Their
their parents.
parent, their just as their children, who, parents who hurt their children. There are children who hurt their parents. There are
Right.
adult children who commit elder abuse. Um, these things happen in families of all nationalities, and it looks different ways, right?
Mm,
So you just have to do what's in your best interest. If you know what kind of parent you are. Okay, so take it from there. you
right. Because I
know
was thinking about.
you know
I really been thinking about this as a mother. Because I was just like, wow, like he is a year older than my son, and I just was like, I really this is like really crazy. As a mother, I could speak on him as just somebody just spectating or whatever, but I do think about like what the hell is going on with his parents, like. And the craziest thing is that we have yet to hear anything about his father. It's become so normal in our community that kids don't have fathers that no one is speaking about the fact that
I
his
think he
father.
said that his father died.
Oh,
Yes, that was what he was saying when everybody was talking. I was like, listen to what he's saying. I think he was saying to the man when he was doing the interview, um, that his father died. Like his father was a crackhead and he died, and he got real past that. You know,
I know that he said his uncle was a crackhead.
Yes, he did say that too. He said his
Yeah,
uncle was his. Well, he said his father died, and he said his uncle was like his role model, but his uncle was a crackhead. So it must have been his father's brother or his mother's brother. Who knows? But
yeah,
his father died, and that's what happens sometimes. Not every single mother is a single mother because she had some pookie or whatever you want to call a man. Sometimes men die, right? Men
right.
men die, young guys die, and they have babies, right? So
They
they
don't
have,
like people don't
it
think about the
happens.
fact
People
that.
don't think out, everybody is not because she couldn't hold a man, whatever that bullshit means, or keep a man nonsense, or he left her. It could have been
A
the
lot
woman.
of women from the
Come on.
80s, I mean, probably even the 70s, but because I'm an 80s baby, I'm going to say, like, a lot of kids, like, a lot of peers of mine, parents, even either their mother and father or mother died, like,
Mm-hmm.
because of drugs, or it was a
Yes.
lot of things going on. And people don't really, I never hear that, with all this talk about that being talk about that, a lot of these people, parents, or fathers are dead. Like they're
Yeah.
gone. They're not here no more.
Yeah.
Yes, some of them walked out, but a lot of them are
A
gone.
lot of them were dead. A lot of them went to Vietnam. A lot of them went to other wars. Since then, and because black men do sign up for the military, right?
Hmm.
Um, and some of them make careers of it, so they may be alive, but they just may be absent parents. You could be married
That's
and never
true.
be there, right? Um, just to say that you have a father, just to say you have a father doesn't mean your father participates.
Hmm.
You know, um, but whatever. Again,
Yeah,
like
that
you
was
said,
just my question because I
you
wondered. I was
can't,
going to ask
thinking
you
of, yeah,
the
I hope
other
that was
day
helpful. It's just, you know,
about how you would deal with this as a mother. I really,
because
I mean,
maybe he was pewing that manosphere bullshit to her. You know what I'm saying?
probably.
Because he's in her house and he don't have nobody else to tell it to, right? Or he's don't got no
But some
girlfriend.
women sometimes think that and that's a bad. That's why you got to pay attention to what your sons
Is
are
saying
into, because some women feel like that just because your child is in something where it's men, that it's a good thing. It's just the manosphere is not good for
there's nothing
boys
about
at
it.
all.
And even it's all over. Whether you're a black mother or a white mother, all mothers, it's there, and we feel it, we hear it, and we see it, and it's really, some of it's getting a little out of hand. You know, so that's what I'm saying. We all have to look out for ourselves because these black men are not looking out for us. They don't care if we're their mother, their sister, their girlfriend, whatever. It's like just like he said, they'll destroy it rather than try to build it up. They're dangerous. Some of
Yeah.
them, the ones who are feeding into this, right?
What Big Chuck
They're
was talking about, I heard before that is a manosphere red pill thing with the black community. That I haven't heard many speak out on it in a long time.
If the
Um,
man was willing to burn down the
yes,
country, why wouldn't he burn down the
that's
black
what that's
community?
one of their mottos is to burn the community.
Right. That, because this is an authoritarian, and black men go for that. They like authoritarian until they realize this authoritarian is going to be authoritarian over them too. They think that this white man or the white man is trying to build them up and make them brothers and alpha males together. No, dude. When he gains this, what's he going to do? He's going to enslave you or try to enslave you like he did before. And you're not going to fight this time. You're not going to fight back.
Right.
You're not. Ain't none of these brothers been drafted for the war. None of
Yeah.
them. Their fathers, their uncles, their grandfathers. Yeah, maybe that's why their mothers and grandmothers and grandmothers stayed with their men, because their men really did prove that they were heroes. Y'all ain't proved nobody nothing. You want submission without leadership.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So we got to make up something to submit to.
I just wonder what they would do, because black women are such a backbone in the black community. Even with our intellect, where is that? And that's just what it is. It's just the way that it is. It's not a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. And I really just really wonder what they would do if we was all just let go of everything and just give it to them. Like, okay, you want it here. Everything's on you. We're just submitting now.
They was the first they would say, "What's up? What are they doing? What's up with this?" Like, I stop having sex with their asses. That's what you do. Put them
Yeah.
on strike.
They not
That's
gonna do
that's
that,
that's how the
Maxine.
Greek that was a great important Greek play, Lysistrata, right? Where the Greek
Hmm.
women were sick of the Greek women and the Roman women were sick of the men and the war, and both sides of wives on both countries decided that they were going to stop having sex with them, and that's how the war ended.
Yeah,
Since they think
it's
that that's all
crazy.
we, since they think all we are is vagina, we don't got no vagina for them.
Yeah, that's crazy. That I don't really understand. Like some of it, none of it makes
It ain't
sense.
gonna be
And
forever. It ain't gonna last more than a couple of weeks. Believe me,
Yeah.
it ain't gonna
And
be
Big Truck
flawless.
himself admitted, like, yeah, we do this for money, but at the same, you so he's basically saying the more YouTube pay them, the more extreme it get. It almost to the point where they start, even though maybe a little bit in the beginning they
Because
believed
they
it,
have nothing else to offer the public besides
right? And then they start
that.
believing their own lies. It's kind of lied to
Like
get paid,
like
but
any carnival barker, like any salesman, they found a niche and they're going to play it, right? They're going to milk it. There's billions and billions of dollars out here. People are welcome to give money to whomever they choose to give money to, right? So they don't have to be competitive, but because they are by nature competitive, they got to find somebody to, come down on it. Like the cartoon said, it's not enough for the dogs to win. The cats have to die.
mm,
They don't just want to be, they want to bring us down. They want to humiliate us. They want to humble us.
well, they don't know black women too well. Then I don't understand. I
They
already,
do, and that's what they don't like. They do, and
but they need
that's
to
why they're
stop
mad.
fighting because we're not like we're just too smart. Like it's just not gonna happen. Like you just it's just not gonna be no win. It's gonna always be like a back and forth. They just need to stop.
It didn't need to be like this. They
Good be
create,
quiet.
they created it.
They did create it.
It didn't have to be like this.
It's a tantrum. I call it with the passport bros. I call it the passport tantrum. Whereas they're like, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna take my passport and leave. And they think black women are gonna be like, please no, don't leave and take all your resources and everything that you have
No,
to
they
offer.
can go and they can take their other ones that don't want to get passports. Take them with you too,
They're not gonna
because
go.
they
They
standing here just making us miserable. Also, you know what I'm
the ones that's gone. This is the thing. There's ones that's gone, and we don't hear from them. They're gone, gone.
saying?
They live in Korea. They live in Thailand, and they're in their 60s, 70s, and they're not on YouTube, and they're gone, and
Those are
they left.
grown, mature men
Yeah, so like you
who
gotta go. Like if you really
never
want
heard
to
of the
go,
Manosphere, who are out there just living their lives. They did their
right,
work. Their kids are grown, and they're on their own by themselves.
right. Like you can't but Big Truck
Hmm.
exposed it today when he talked about it, and basically he said it like those guys got to pay, like Austin got to pay to live. And if he realized that talking about Western women and doing this whole, what is it right wing, right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
yeah, that's where
Yeah.
he's at. He's on that side.
It's like Peter Pan met the right wing, and that's what it is. They don't want to grow up. They think that they can have these big life changing moves based on YouTube and super chats and cash apps and whatever for the rest of their lives. Um, Not knowing that, you know, at 23 years old, if you live to be 80, you're saying for the next 60 years, this is what you're going to be counting on?
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work out.
Come on, man. Think about what you're saying.
I think that he believes truly that he's going to come into a substantial amount of wealth, and
He
that
could.
he's
He
going.
he could. He very, very, very well could. But he's
Yeah,
gonna have to keep working to maintain
yeah,
whatever lifestyle. And even though he's living cheap, apparently, he's still gonna have to keep working,
right.
doing something. He's not gonna have Social Security because he's not in the United States.
Andre, why don't you just come up here? What are you doing?
Andre says they're seeing the truth about how people are looking at them and they're not comfortable with the truth. Well, they wanted us to be
I don't know how
they
they
wanted
thought
to,
how
they
they
wanted to
thought
take
people
the
was gonna look
delusion
at them.
out of they wanted us to lose our delusion. We did. We appreciate their help. And
Uh
so
huh.
now they see what they look like too.
Right.
Because maybe all this time we were, coddling them and telling them how wonderful they were and who they could be and this and that and trying to build with them. Maybe we hindered them for knowing that they weren't really all that. you know, some of them, not
I
everybody.
mean, I don't know what it is. I was listening to. I don't know if you ever listen to public radio. You know how
Hmm.
they have like public TV,
Yeah, like
like
NPR.
NPR.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I was listening to that, and they were talking about college, and they always, as soon as they said it, they was like, a lot of kids dropped out of school during the pandemic, but
Hmm.
they went back,
Hmm.
after, like a year after, and black women led the charge. Of course, we always do. Like
Hmm.
we're always in school,
Right.
and then but they started mentioning black men, and they was saying that they have programs for black men for school. And I just was kind of like, I know that in school, like, in primary school and stuff like that, you like a lot of black men need help with, a little bit more attention when it
Hmm.
comes to those
Hmm.
things. And I just was wondering, like, what is that? Why is that? Like, what is going on? Because even
I
at the college level,
I
they
think
have to have a special environment to
it's nothing that's their fault. It's something that is just in
you think it's
our
genetics?
yeah. I think it's in our collective DNA, and that's what they got from it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because like even with my son is in college too, and he's my son, so I gotta speak life into him. He's my child. I don't gotta speak life into every black man on the planet,
Hmm.
but that's
Hmm.
my son. So
Right.
I find it with me. I
But
still have
remember,
to.
every mother has that son, so we've all been speaking life into them.
Yeah,
So like I said, this is our fault because we raise our daughters and we love our sons.
my son couldn't. He didn't have his. He was on his way back to school. He went to the airport and he didn't have his card. So he thought that he would be able to use his phone. You know how you can play electronically with your phone to like put to have his bags to
I
pay
hate
for his
that.
baggage or whatever, right?
Hmm.
So he wasn't able to do that. So he's calling me and we're trying to figure out how to get this, this baggage situation going on. And he literally broke down and just was like, I'm just forget it. I'm just not gonna go back. And I was like, really, you really wanna like this is you gotta go back to school, right? Like, nah,
Hmm.
man, because everything, and I'm just like, this is your school. Like, I would have left that. I was like, what's in that bag that you can't leave behind because you got to get back because he had to go back earlier because he played basketball. And I was like, you really is going to give up all of everything over a bag because you really losing it hope to the point of you're going to lose. I was like, you're right there to graduate. You really going to mess this up and all this stuff you went through with this basketball because you having a tantrum over a bag. Yeah, and I had to really coach him into
Hmm.
getting on the plane. I was like, look, stay. Let me, because they were being rude to him at the airport, basically,
Hmm.
and that's what it was. Like they was giving him a hard time,
Right.
and I was just like, just come. We're gonna figure it out. He missed his
Mhm.
plane,
Oh
and
yeah.
I was like, go talk to the manager, and I'm gonna stay on the phone with you through the whole time, and see
Hmm.
if you can get your plane, a
Your flight
different
change.
plane,
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
change. And then we're gonna get because I was far from him at this time. So I was like, we're gonna call somebody to see if they could come and get and pay for your bag
Hmm.
with their card. And
Hmm.
that's what we ended up having to do. But he just really at that one moment lost it and just was like, forget everything. I'm not going back. I'm about to go back home.
Right. Right. And you are just like all of us moms. We are the sun whisperers, right? We know how to, break them back. Bring them back from the ledge. you know, have them to, be clear, think, because we're trying to protect them from themselves, right?
Right.
We're
That's why I
trying
said
to
it's
protect
just
them from
something with
themselves. And
the
there comes a time, I guess, girls, ladies, we're the same way. We can have enough. You can love everybody from a distance, or you could be more distant in the way that you help.
yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying with
I
some of
know.
these men that like you really think that you can walk away from us and like be okay. It's not really, I mean, yeah, you go down there probably and get married or something or whatever. I guarantee Austin, one of the first people that he called was his mother.
I hope he. I hope he does. His mother does do whatever he has to do. She has to do to help him, especially if it's about his medication. This is not
Hmm.
worth anybody losing their life, whether it be by, you know, violence or anything. And I just wish him safety. I don't wish anybody any harm, male or
When I
female.
saw his video, that video, the first one, when he looked sad, I know that look as a mother. And as mean as I can be, I felt something for him because I have a son and I know that look of disappointment. I was just like, oh, he fucked up. Like,
Oh,
he
you
is
mean when
really
he
going
couldn't get
through.
no money the first day when he got there, he didn't have access to his cash?
Remember when he first got to Thailand? Did you see
Oh,
the video of when he first got to Thailand from Brazil after they kicked him
uh,
out?
yeah. He
He
was
looked
talking to
really
Raps. Yeah,
sad and
yes, he was
depressed.
sad. He was scared. He was
And I
sad. He
just
was
was
depressed.
like, look at him. Now he's a baby. After all that trash that he talked, he looks so sad and disappointed. That's how my son looked when he couldn't get that bag on the plane.
But that's
Like,
also part of the grift
I think
too.
it's part of the grip, but you could definitely tell that he was
He
like
was
defeated.
shook
Yeah,
and
he was
embarrassed.
defeated.
He was
He was
shook, embarrassed.
embarrassed.
Yeah, embarrassed, shook, defeated, disappointed, confused, scared.
Mhm.
You know, probably he didn't have any reservations in the hotels, and all of that. He could have had stuff set up because he claimed that he was going to leave in 4 or 5 days anyway. And he just got there earlier than expected, and he's just a little out of sorts,
It's just really a sad situation because
eating
he's
cockroach.
ruining his future and he don't even understand it. He's not seeing it. You can't let this is not gonna go away. And the
Yeah,
fact
but
that
at the
you
same time, bad publicity is better than none, right? So now
right.
he's starting to get more. This may be the thing that puts him a little bit more on the map,
Oh
unwittingly,
yeah.
you
He's gonna
know.
get all the Andrew Tate followers and everything.
And then he really, 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 in his heart of hearts, thinks that Brazil is supposed to apologize to him so that he could come back. He's nuts.
Yeah,
That is a bit much.
he's yeah,
That's a
he
bit much.
really he said that on an interview.
Yes, he did say that, and I'm like, dude,
He didn't just say Brazil. He said all the people that talked
everybody.
about him and the
Mm-hmm.
lady Stephanie
Mm-hmm.
should owes him an apology. He's crazy. That's that arrogance,
Entitlement.
that entitlement. Yeah,
That's what he takes behind the scene when he turns off the camera and he's with these women. That's that same attitude that's going to keep him having to use lotion for the rest of his life. That's no good. You
my
can do
like
all of
I
that.
told my son the same thing. I
You
was
can do
like,
all that clowning for the public and the camera. But when
I
you
told
turn off
him,
that camera, you better be a gentleman in your home.
I told my son the same thing. I was like, you do know that no woman is gonna want to deal with you with that my way or the highway personality. Like it's not gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
It works a little with me because I'm your mother, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
gotta live with you every day.
Mm-hmm. Nobody's going to put with that. And if you
No
think that
woman is gonna deal with
you're
that.
right, and if she puts up with it for a minute, she got a plan.
Woo is here. Come
Yeah.
on, Woo. Yeah,
Hmm?
he just
Hey, Will.
and Woo is young too, so maybe she can add her 2 cents in it. But
But
he
I don't
really
let's leave our sons alone because it starts problems anyway.
oh Austin. I mean, I think that it was positive because I really just wanted to ask as
Yeah,
a
yeah.
mother,
But what we think is positive because of the way
others
they
don't.
think, they
Yeah,
don't. They turn it around just like everything
yeah,
you say, they turn around because they're in this place now, this matrix. They're not
right.
hearing it the way we're
I
intending.
hate when they say that stupid matrix.
But that's where they are. And we don't know nothing about it. So, you know what I'm saying? We standing out there looking at it like, okay, then come out.
Yes, come out of the matrix,
They,
please.
and they think that they think that they know something more than we do right now. And they
Oh
don't.
God,
They
it's so
haven't
stupid.
lived life. Just like the man laughed at his silly ass yesterday when he said, "How old are you?" He said, "Man, you don't even know nothing." But how many has tried to say that to any of the young men that have come into the panel?
It's a guy, Jason
They
Black,
don't
over
want to
there.
understand. You learn so much between the time you're 18 and the time you're 30.
Yeah,
You're a
it's
whole
something
different
that
person.
this generation, like his generation, is the generation of not listening. Even yesterday, there was a guy that came on a panel, and we was talking to him, and they don't really understand things the way that I mean, they question everything, which is not a bad thing, but sometimes you need to just listen and just listen. That's it. And this generation don't, they question everything, everything. Like at one time, this would have been common sense. We see exactly what Austin did. It was stupid, and it would have been moved on. It would have been like, yeah, this is dumb. But they question, to them in their mind, it's like, yes, everything he did was bad, but was it illegal? It wasn't illegal. But like, this is how their mind is thinking. Right. And they can't just say, oh yeah, it was morally bad and he shouldn't have did it. Yes, it was, for them, it's morally bad, but was it illegal? What did he do wrong? Everything was wrong. Why don't you understand it? But this is the way that they think.
Well, and then when it's morally bad, they can move the goalposts easier. Right? Because one of them is like, well, my morals are not your morals, and morals are
right.
So it's
right.
another part of the script that they are now, finagling with. And the truth means nothing. They're alternate facts.
Yes, it's a part of it. Must be a
it's
Matrix.
Part of the red thing. They just turned
it's
it.
It's a part of the Matrix, and yes, they know how to do it so well that you stop questioning them.
Right, it's
you just get irritated and just be like, you know what, I'm done.
And just like happened with this idiot tonight on Peso's channel. Shout out to the Peso man. But, yeah, come on, man. Whew. I didn't know what that was. I just came from church breakfast, and I turned it on, and I was like, "Are they still on here with this?" And I listened, and it made no sense, and all of that, McGilla gorilla behavior. Who are you?
He just living a word of his own.
But he'll take that into work. He'll take that into work, or he'll share it with his white guys at his job, and they'll have a hee haw all good time.
Yes,
and that's where his subscribers are. That's who his followers are.
I believe his followers are Trump supporters, probably.
Absolutely, he's a Republican. He's a black male Republican. He's looking for the same cloud that Candace Owens.
Trump supporters and Republicans is not the same thing. Trump supporters is some other type of whole thing.
He's a Trump supporter. He already admitted it. So let's not even try to do that. Listen, at this point,
because if you notice, he said, I'm a Trump supporter and did he say that? He said, I'm a Republican and I'm an independent or something, something like that. Independent thinker.
He's an independent thinker because they think that all black people are Democrats. That's that's the shade he's trying to throw. I'm telling you, this is all political bullshit. It's all political. And he knows what he's doing. He's just trying to, suck off of the same tit that Candace Owens did. What were the two of them? Velcro and polyester. The two, one of them passed away. So that that's
Velcro and polyester.
Yeah, what is it?
You talking about what is the girls, the ladies,
black girls, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. What is their name?
Diamond and Zirconia. Wait. Diamond and Silk.
It wasn't Diamond and Pearls. It was something else.
No, it's not Diamond and Pearls. It's Diamond and Silk, or Silk and Diamond.
Diamond and Silk.
Whatever. Yep. Rest in peace, whoever. One of them. Please rest in peace. Stay rested. Stay peaceful.
It was so crazy because even with that they were such strong, like, Trump supporters. I even seen like the black men talking shit about them when she died. I'm like, she was on y'all side, like y'all Trump people's side.
But they're not bright, all right? They don't know anything about politics. They haven't been paying attention. They've been stuck inside ever since COVID, and that's right about the time they got rid of Trump. And she and her sister wasn't all big. She was bigger during the campaign, right? So they're not familiar with her.
Wow.
Come on now. Do you expect them to remember?
I mean, as starch Republicans and Trump supporters that they say that they are, I would think that they know who Diamond is.
They're followers.
They're fake they're fake Republicans. That's what they are.
Right. But anything that's going to denigrate women and the subset black women, they're with it. And they'll say they're Republican and they'll say they're independent, just not to say they're Democrat. But a lot of them did the right thing, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much gentlemen, for helping us retain our democracy in November. And please keep paying attention. You don't need us to tell you, since you don't want to hear nothing from us. Pay attention to what's being said. Pay attention to
Well,
what's being said.
if they probably wasn't online trying to bash black women, they probably would have voted.
But they
But
did.
they
They
not
did.
focused.
I mean, 87% of them voted, and they voted Democrat. So thank
Oh,
God.
okay.
They did it. They did it. Black people always say this nation, but we can do it together, and give them the credit for what they do. But I guess I don't know. They heard something that spoke to their hurt and their pain.
Mm-hmm.
And it just came through a con artist. The same way the Trump supporters support Trump. It's the same con artist, salesman. When you pull back the curtain, the emperor has no clothes. And even when you tell it to them and you show it to them, they still don't believe it.
Yeah.
How many people saw what happened on January 6th and really believe that man didn't incite that?
I know that they believe it because I was at work, right? When we was watching it on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And my supervisor, he was Mexican, he a Mexican American, so he's a part of the Republicans, that the new move of Mexican Republicans, that's the Trump supported Mexicans.
Mm-hmm.
And he saw it, and I remember before all of it came, as it was
I
going
don't
on.
even understand none of that. I don't understand how any Latina,
I
whether
don't
they're
understand.
Cuban
They
or
was able to
Mexican
talk
or
to them.
whatever, what are y'all
I don't
listening
know.
to? These
It's real
people,
crazy. That is
it's
crazy.
and listen, I don't even want to go there because it makes no sense.
I
But
don't know what it was and why. I
I
think
think
that what
that
happens is
they
that
when they say socialism, they hear Castro and Cuba or all of this bullshit. But that's
they
not
don't
what
want to
we.
be
That's not
associated.
what's
It's
you
the
know.
Mexican Americans
Ooh,
that don't want to
my
be
God.
associated with
Because they
or
assimilate
whatever.
easier. They can assimilate easier, and
Yes,
that's what that is. It takes them
that's
one
what they're
hit.
doing.
It takes them one wedding ring, and they're good, right? With us, we ain't gonna
It's
never.
them.
Right, we
You
ain't
know,
gonna
because
never assimilate. We ain't gonna never assimilate.
yeah, it's them not being well. We're not. It's kind of like we see how the blacks was treated. We don't want to get treated like that, so we might as well just go over there with them.
And
But
like I
not
said,
knowing
and
that
they
they're
right.
always going to choose them over you too.
No, because they're hoping that once they have they get married, have babies, and change the last name to Donovan or O'Hara or Klein or whatever. They're good.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody will never know because they're not going to be, the two names. They're not using that no more. That's out.
Mm-hmm.
So their kids will be good. It's a sacrifice that they were willing to make at
Right.
our expense. That's all it is. That's all it is. Hey, Andre, your throat feeling better?
Yeah, I just like had to stop talking for a second. Not talking for a second. It was because of personal reasons why I didn't want to talk. But
Mm.
Oh,
until
okay.
like he kept speaking my name out like I was like the candy man or something, so I had to come
He
up
kept
there and
coming. As soon as
introduce
he came
Oh,
in
myself.
and he asked for you, he was like, "Where is Andre?
who?
The guy."
Well, big trucker because I called him out for having a fake channel, which it is, having a phony channel, all that stuff he was talking about having money and stuff like that.
That's what I said. Is Peso supposed to split his super chats with him or something? Why is he talking about we got
I don't.
business
I
going
think
on?
that he's clout chasing.
Oh,
One
Hmm.
thing I know that I could tell with Big Truck is that he's finding a way of how to use the algorithm, and
mm,
Yeah.
he probably came on Peso Show the other time, and he realized that when he was on Peso Show, that either
mhm.
because a lot of you have a lot of trolls that watch Peso as well, so
Yes.
it brought him more subscribers, and Peso go for a long time, so he's riding a wave right now, basically. Like
Mm.
he's not splitting any super chats or anything. He's just riding Peso away because it's going to bring him more subscribers because Peso Man has a lot of
Oh,
haters.
he's doing like Queen's Flip is doing on Joe Budden?
Yes.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. He trying
So
If
to.
Queen Flip, is he? Does he's cool with Joe? Well, he must be.
That's his boy. Apparently,
hmm
that's been his
Queen,
boy a long time, and you know, Joe takes in broken birds.
What does that mean? What do you mean?
Like those are his boys, and you know, and I guess he's been going through something, and he's just trying to, you know, grow his network and
Oh,
help his friends.
Queen.
Yeah, you know, like no,
Where the
but
hell has he been all these years?
I
Like,
don't
what was
know
he
who
doing?
he is. I was
what
being a
Queen Flip?
mommy when he was popular, I guess.
Was he in prison or something? He just popped out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Who Queen Flip?
yes, I like he
Yeah.
was doing
Oh,
other
oh,
things.
I can tell you,
Yes,
Queen
give us
Flip.
some background. Who the fuck?
Okay, Queen
Who the
Flip
hell?
is
That's what the
heavy on
first
the
one that
battle rap
came to
scene,
mind. Mm,
especially up
Oh,
here in
okay.
New York.
sorry.
So he's so he's heavy on the big on the battle rap scene. The way he's treating Joe Budden now is how he was going at battle rappers, and he was cool
Classless.
with and he's cool with Joe Budden because of a gentleman by the name of Sue Surf who's currently in prison right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Oh
cool with
yeah,
him.
Surf. That used to be under the young guy, the cute guy. I
What's his
remember
name?
Surf.
Sue Surf.
Sue
He's a
Surf.
Who he
battle
used to
rapper
be
from
with?
New Jersey. He used to
Oh, okay.
be. He used
Oh,
to
yeah,
have
you know
a.
more than me.
Oh,
Those young people.
my son introduced me to Joe Budden 2 years ago, and
Uh,
I'm in love.
I can't
Mhm.
stand Joe Budden.
I love him. I love his voice. I know
Why
he's
you
a.
like him?
I love. What did I just tell you? His voice.
he
He's a
he
Virgo,
like a
and I
little
love his
asshole.
voice. I love his voice, and I argue with him and I yell at him, but he makes me laugh.
Do you
I'll
think that
tell
he's
you,
gay?
he got me. No, not at all. He got him. He helped get me through my depression out of it. So I
Oh,
thank God
okay.
for him. That's what when my son introduced me to him, I started laughing.
Oh,
And
wow.
that's back when what's his name, Rory and Ma, when they
Oh,
were
when Roy Mall used to
yeah,
be on the
yeah, and
show.
they had me crying.
I like the
They
dude
got
from
me.
Philly. What's his name? He got a
Oh,
podcast.
Ice? No, Ish. Ice
Not
Spiegel.
Ice. It's another dude. He used to be a rapper too, but he never really blew up. He older. He older now. What's his name, Andre? I
Um,
know you know who I'm
um,
talking
um,
about.
Benzino? Nah, not Benzino.
Oh,
Not
Beanie Siegel.
Benzino.
Beanie Siegel.
oh,
The one that was the battle rapper. Remember? I mean, the
the
one that was.
boy, the cute one over here,
Oh,
cat.
Freeway.
No,
No, he's not
no.
Freeway.
I know
McMill.
you're talking about. He has a barbershop,
Is it
right? That guy.
Casanova? It's not. It's not. It's
Is
not
I
that.
know
What is
you
his
know.
name?
What is his
I
name? He
can't
has
think
a
of his name, but
barbershop.
he also has like a show too.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. I like him too. I like
he's
him.
funny.
Yes.
Cassidy?
Yeah.
Are you talking about Cassidy? Not
Is it
What?
Cassidy,
Cassidy?
right?
It's not Cassidy. It's
No.
somebody else.
No.
I'm
Oh
trying to
God.
think. I'm thinking like
I'll tell you
everyone
his
who I
name
know
in a
from
minute.
Philly.
He
He
was a rapper, but he never really made it big. But actually was a very good rapper back in the day. They used to remember they used to try to like compare him to Lil Wayne.
Uh,
What is his name
uh,
right now?
I can't think of it.
He's really handsome to me, and he does it out of a barbershop, and he has some problem with his co-workers uh a little while ago, and he's coming through that same kind of thing like what Joe went through in a way. You know,
oh, Math Hoffa.
Matt Hoffa,
Yeah.
Math
him, he's
Hoffa.
good.
Okay, I
I
know what you're
like him,
talking about.
and he did such a great interview with Remy Ma, and
I like Remy Ma.
I had to give her respect. I was like, that's that energy. I like this girl. I like this girl. She's very intelligent, and I'm
Out of
glad
all the
that they
rap
did
girls,
that.
I think that she represents New York the best.
Yes, thank you. Yes, she got it. She got it. She got it. But again, Queen's Flip, I never heard of is until he showed up when Joe had already been on Math Hoffa's show. I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Then I see Joe on there again, and I see this fat guy now known as Queen Flip to me, but I didn't know who he was. But I was like, is this guy trying to get Matt Hoffa to make him his co-host or something? I was like, this guy's looking. And then he came on before, I think, on Joe Budden. And I was like, this dude's looking for a job. Like, somebody help him out. That's what I said in the comments. But for real, he's been begging for
You
work.
never seen Queen Flip's videos?
Dude, I was mama and I was at work. in the 90s. Okay, in the 80s and 90s, I was not paying attention.
No, no, no. His videos now.
I ain't looking. What's he do?
It's like I'm gonna tell
He
you what he
does
does.
skits. He does
Yeah, he
skits.
does like
Yeah.
little skits, but he also bought like a I think that he's trying to do something big because
Of
he
course he
bought some
is.
type of warehouse
He's a cloud
and
chaser. He
he bought
knows.
a warehouse or something, and I think so. What he's trying to do is build up his audience because I don't know what he's
Yeah.
doing. I think he's trying to do like a wild and out type of thing.
Sure, he can, and I'm sure he'll be successful because all the people who know who he is will go. I'm
Yeah,
just
because
saying,
he
to
hang with
me,
Jim Jones and all of them too.
yeah, that's not my type. I don't even like that.
Jim Jones and them damn on cornrows and braids and shit. I'm
I'm
so sick of them. When are they
I'm
going
a
to grow
Will
up?
Smith type of mama. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to hear all of those guys. I told you, Joe Budden. I heard "Pump It Up" in my life, of course. I mean, who didn't? I ain't sitting on Joe like that, but I never really paid attention. But when my son introduced it to me, I was like, "Oh, okay." And "Pump It Up" is like, all right, that's acceptable rap to
He
me.
got another song that
He
I
got
like.
lots of songs. He got lots, but I didn't know who he
It's
was.
one that
You know
he
what I'm
talked
saying?
about, like it's like he kind of went deep. I think he was talking about his relationship or
Yeah.
something like that.
He always talks about his relationships, whether it be his family or his loves.
Did you watch him on when he was on Love and Hip Hop?
Oh yes, see that's where I recognized him from. When my son showed, I said, "Okay, I remember him because I saw him when he was going with that girl, and she sort of
To
makeup on
hear
the
it, not
bed."
to whatever her name was, he was going her. He put that in
Yeah,
like I don't know.
the
I
makeup
can't.
on the bed. I saw that episode, and I saw when he proposed to her,
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
then I saw when he proposed to the other girl that had the baby for him too.
Um,
So yeah, twice I seen him propose. He knows how to do things. He's a
and
man.
he's not with the other one no more, right?
No, I
Sin
think
Sin
no,
Santana.
not the baby's mother. No, I don't think so. No, she's got
No,
another man. She's out of there.
Okay.
She came what she came for. She was
Um,
on that. Listen. Let me stop, Patty. Don't say nothing.
no, say it.
She came on to that show trying to find somebody to make somebody a baby daddy,
Right.
and she won. She
She was
got it.
looking for a sponsor.
She was looking for a sponsor. If it was going to be a woman or if it was going to be a man, there was going to be a sponsor.
Oh my God,
That's
they
what
was
she
so
came,
crazy.
and she got it. She good.
Yeah.
And now she ain't got to have nothing to do with Joe because Joe is
Cause
not
she
leave me
also she
alone.
wasn't one of them messing with one of those rapper girls.
They all were messing with rapper girls.
Right, she's the one that used to play on the show The Wire with the Snoop. That's her name, Snoop. I remember when she was
I
on
think
Lemon.
I saw Cardi B on somebody's show. She's on the one that has what's that little one that looks like a mouse? They're married to Faith. Who is that boy?
Oh my
Stevie
God,
J. Stevie
Stevie
J.
J.
Right. I think
Yeah.
she was on that. I think I remember seeing her when she really had a really worse thick accent. But she was always you could see that she was going to make whatever she gonna shake what her mama gave her. She gonna use what she got to get what she want and good for her. I ain't mad.
I think Faith
I
and
ain't mad.
Stevie J is
I'm
using
proud of both.
drugs.
Who?
Faith and Stevie J.
Who cares?
I think that's why they having so because they always getting a divorce every week. It's like they getting a divorce. They have a lot of issues, but I think it's more like Faith be beating him up and like Faith is running that
If
relationship.
they didn't do that, would you be on their Instagram? Would anybody know anything about them right now?
No,
You're right. So
you
come on,
right
stop,
now.
y'all. Stop.
You right.
It's feeding the beast. It's bringing the algorithm. These
Oh
people got to
yeah,
make money. What's she gonna do? She got children, and he got
yeah,
lots of children.
yeah.
You know
She
what I'm
did.
saying? How much money they
Yeah.
making off of streams these days?
Doesn't she get some type of money from
I'm,
Biggie?
I'm sure, but come on, that's a long time ago, and her child is growing,
Mm-hmm.
going to college, that kind
Her
of.
daughter just had an incident recently. Something happened. I think it was like something happened between her and her boyfriend, and she was all over the news and something like that. Biggie's daughter.
She still got to maintain her family, you know.
Yeah.
And if you can make some money off of doing nothing and saying, and everybody gonna look. and that's gonna bring up your bank account. Hey, hey.
Right.
She got, you know what? She got millions and millions of people as a fan base. I'm sure.
Yeah, people love
So,
Faith.
come on. If you just look once a month, they good. So it's a niche. It's a grip. Everybody wants to get money, and there's enough money out here for all of us to have some.
Why you think
That's why we
is
don't have
that?
to disparage one another on
Why
that
you think
platform.
that the younger generation, like for instance, Faith is my generation of music. Like Faith, Mary J's still around or whatever. She still has a presence. But a lot of my R&B artists don't have a presence. But I noticed that kids today know who Al Green is or the
They
Isley
have a
Brothers.
presence if you turn the dial on that radio in the car. Shit.
Hmm.
Like, but don't nobody know them. Like you got kids that's today in their 20s that know who singers was that's from the 60s and 70s.
Right.
But they don't know 90s artists.
And so, who was the parents at that time? That would be us.
That's true. That's true.
Okay.
You're right.
Take accountability because we were busy out there working. We weren't playing the music on Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It
We
was
didn't kick the door in and say it's
right.
time to get up on Sunday and
Exactly.
play the music
Exactly.
and them fucking blinds
Exactly.
come up
And that's
and the
why they
sun
don't know.
shining in and shit.
Right. Right. We coddle their asses, and this
Yeah.
is what we get. Lesson is learned, right?
Yeah.
Ladies, gentlemen, because I know y'all see your sons acting the fuck crazy too.
I know we acted crazy. My mom got gray hairs to show. I know that. She reminds me every
Oh,
day. Me and my
God
brothers
bless her.
every day.
All right, tell her that she got sisters out here in the struggle with her. We praying. We in a collective prayer to strengthen us as women, as mothers of these black men.
Well, she'll tell you
Right.
stories. She just like as long as my kids, like me and my brothers, we don't have children out of wedlock. Like
Right,
my
right.
brother, I'm not in a relationship. I have my own reasons why. It's not
And
for
she
the.
got your back as long as you being a good boy.
Like it's not there. She visited me while I'm in here. While I'm currently in here. In this facility right now. So she tried to visit me as much as she can. My dad, he
Mm-hmm.
visits me.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have kids out of wedlock, and
Mm-hmm.
and and
Mm-hmm.
we're not in toxic relationships. I was in toxic relationships, dear Lord. That's she'll point at the gray hair. That'll tell you that one. That'll show you that. Um, but no, she understands how a
Your
kid are.
relationship put gray hair on your mother, and you know that. Thank you, Jesus. Acknowledge
Mhm.
that. That's
She remind
accountability.
me.
That's accountability. That's
She
accountability.
she reminds me, and I'm like,
Are you
yeah, that
sorry?
was bad.
Are you
Yeah.
sorry?
Oh no, I apologize to her every day.
Okay.
To because a lot of that stuff was due to to me and how I reacted to certain things. So I understand that's the reason why I'm single. Like I tell people all the time, I'm not gonna welcome. I had to tell this to a friend of mine. I said I'm not gonna welcome nobody into a relationship and they have to deal with what I'm going through right now. That's unfair to her. She probably had plans and now she got to deal with somebody who's going through all this. That's not fair to her. I shared that with a nurse and she said, "I understand what you're talking about. I understand what you mean." And plus, I got my own issues that I
Mm-hmm.
have to deal with as a man, and I have to deal with growing pains as a man.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hey, y'all, real quick, I gotta jump off here. I gotta take care of something real quick. If y'all still up here when I come back, I'll come back up here.
Okay.
All
okay,
right.
no problem.
All right. Talk to you later. Thanks
Thanks,
for coming
Aya.
by, Camo.
Okay,
All
bye,
right.
Camo.
Bye bye.
Okay. So Andre, as a son, you think your mother would rather you tell her what's going on so she can help you through it, and you
Yeah,
feel like you shouldn't do that because you're a man?
yeah,
Yeah.
but she's the type of person where she like what I'm going through right now. She is on the side of I'll let your father handle the grunt work because she's going through a lot of stuff personally as well,
Mm-hmm.
and she feels like okay, you have to step up as a father. Here's your son
Mm-hmm.
who can't even stand, who can't even walk, who is
Mm-hmm.
dealing with all these physical pains.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be there for him as a man.
And he's stepping up.
and he's stepping up. He's here visiting me every day. He's here talking to me. It's
Has it been helpful?
Yeah, it's been helpful in some points, and it's been in other points. It's just certain things I can't share with my family that I have to share with my pastor and my reverend. Thank God that I have them
Thank
as
God.
well,
Okay.
because it's like I have a support system, but sometimes it just breaks. It's a breaking down period.
Mm-hmm.
So I have my good days, I have my bad days. So that's why I get on Peso Man's channel and DJ Toy channel screaming because
Mm-hmm.
y'all caught me in one of my bad days.
All
But
right. That's all
but
right.
um
We
but
were we were
hey,
screaming too. There was a lot of screaming going on. I had to look at the astrology and see what the planet settings are because there was something going on.
yeah,
Dang.
and that's why I didn't want to get
Oh,
on
oh,
big.
oh, oh. Capricorn moves into Aquarius.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Okay.
a Pisces, so it's just
Oh, oh, okay,
I'm
okay.
I'm emotional 24/7.
Yes, yes,
So,
yes, 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 yes.
but
Oh, lady.
as for the big trucker situation, like I didn't know he was calling me out until people told me in the room, like
Mm,
he was shouting me out because
mm-hmm,
I basically I didn't roast him, but I
hmm.
called him out for being who he was, and he
Well,
left
who
the
is
room.
he? Explain who this character is. This dude.
He is a YouTuber with where he has 83 point, well, he'll say 83.6, but he has a lot of subscribers.
Mm-hmm,
And this is what his popularity is based off of, his subscribers.
mm-hmm,
So he'll just say, "Yeah, I have 6.8 million views and this million views and all that other stuff."
mm-hmm.
Now the thing that he's not going to tell you is that he got those views 6 to 8 years ago.
Okay.
He got them a long time ago. Now he's 12,000 views,
Mm-hmm. It
ten
slowed down.
thousand.
It
It
slowed
slowed
down.
down.
Mm-hmm,
So he's just trying to bring up his past. He's one of those guys who wants to bring up his rap sheet that's in the hood. They always want to bring up his rap sheet in the fight. Like, look at my rap sheet, look at
right,
my rap
right,
sheet, and
right,
it's like,
right,
okay, so what are you doing today? Did you win any fights today? Have you brawled today? How is your situation
right,
looking
right,
today?
right, 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 right,
And he'll never mention that.
right, right.
So when he mentioned my name, I wanted to say it in the room, but I didn't want to say it. I know everybody was like screaming and yelling and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm,
So I was just being calm and I didn't really say anything. I wanted to say, here you are mentioning my name
mm-hmm.
like a son is trying to get attention from his alcoholic father, which he was. If you
Mm.
were screaming my name the way Tam
Mhm.
was making impressions of how you were screaming my name, he was trying to scream my name like like a son trying to
Like
get
you could
attention from
hear
that
him,
alcoholic father.
like you be like your phone is closed or you're sleeping and you could hear him through the internet somehow. You know,
Mhm.
like you're on somebody else's channel watching something else and you're gonna hear him screaming. Like, what do these people think this is?
But he's trying to go back to where he has so many subscribers,
But it worked. Somebody alerted you and you came.
and it worked. It worked. I've been in the room for a long time. It's just I didn't say anything, and I had everything on mute because I was
Mhm.
falling in and out of sleep, and I was
Mhm.
doing other things, and I was
Mhm.
trying to get other things situated. I
Mhm.
was talking to my friends and my cousin over the phone about what I was going through yesterday and the
Mhm.
past few days, and they've been trying to cheer me up.
Mhm.
So I was on more important matters than
Right.
some dude trying to scream and trying to catch my attention.
Some orangutan
Yeah, so it's just like I know
screaming at
what.
the gate, at the gate. So you know, in the cage in the monkey house, that's what with a tin can. That's what he
Mhm.
was doing, looking for somebody to throw some treats in there.
Yeah, so I know what he's doing. Like when he kept saying, "Oh, you have a speech impediment," I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, when you go through a stroke, your voice kind of changes.
You
So, so,
know.
so a lot of things change when you're going through a stroke. So,
Mm,
I hope he understands that when he's screaming and yelling like that, like a fool.
mhm,
But like I said, I know I understand what he's trying to do because if you go on his page, it's basically like me and Dante both said, it's everything and anything is on there, and he's hoping that it sticks, and he's hoping that it goes back to 4 to 6 years ago where he had 1 million views,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not working and it's not popping.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna go to the most popular thing, which is Passport Bros.
Yeah.
So like I wanted to go up there and tell Peso and Rico to get your money together
Mm.
and get your money and get your asking price together. Hello, and to get you. Mm-mm.
You got to see the
Well,
doctor,
never.
nurse.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So to get your money together and to get your asking price ready
Mm-hmm.
because stuff like this is gonna make them popular.
Yeah,
And
well, I'm afraid to even put his name on my thing because I don't want him trying to do tarot cards next.
mhm
You know, any any
mhm
any any niche. No, it was
yeah
just unnecessary. Just let the man get it. Let you talk. Let the other person ask a question. We're all guilty of stepping over each other, but
yeah.
that was like, come on, bro.
That's why I sat in the background and didn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to talk much in the background because I seen where it was going, so I was just
Mm-hmm.
like, and I seen Wu was like, let Andre talk, and everybody was like, please let him talk, let him talk. But
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't saying anything. I was just like, let him keep running his mouth. I want to see where this goes.
Well, I
Be-
lost patience with it quickly because when you look on the live chat, if you go back to it, you'll see when I came in. That's when first started watching, listening to it on my way home from this church thing.
Mhm.
I was like, "What is going on here?" And all of that loud screaming and carrying. I was like, "What?" And Peso needs to mute these people sometimes. That's
Yeah.
disrespectful to us too. Come on now. I mean, I know it's going to get him more views and all like that, but there's times when you don't drop them down, but mute their microphone.
Mhm.
Let them keep talking and nobody listening so that somebody else can get their words in, and then you just unmute them. He can do that to us in the back, right?
Mhm.
He can mute and unmute us. He don't have to drop the person down, but if they're trying to get a question in, mute them so at least the rest of us can hear the question.
Yeah. It turns to
A
a
circus.
lot a circus, and also a lot of these guys. You gotta understand. A lot of these guys want attention.
Mm-hmm.
So good intention or bad intention is
Mm-hmm.
gonna give them attention.
And I
So
know
you're going.
that Peso don't have to be time to be monitoring it all the time because he's sleepy. I'm
Mhm.
glad he started these streams earlier the last 2 nights. That's a good idea.
Mhm.
On weekends at least,
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah, you gonna get a lot of situations where you have a brothers abroad or a Flint or a truckers, or you're gonna have guys like that who are gonna sit and it's gonna feel like who's gonna change the view of the whole panel
Mm-hmm.
because see how quick the whole panel went from talking about Tanya TKO to talking about
Hmm.
big truckers.
Now, what was Tanya TKO's outrage about? What was that?
It was about her situation with the Passport Bros and her interview she had with Stephanie. and
Oh,
and and a lot of people are deeming it as fake outrage and how she is just trying to get
is she
money.
on Stephanie's side or is she on the Passport Bros side?
It sounds like that she was. I only caught a little bit of it and then I just logged out.
Hmm.
It sounded
Oh,
like
but
she
she
was
being
trying to.
neutral.
She was being neutral, but you can
Hmm.
tell that a lot of things she was trying to be on the Passport Bros side. And that's the whole situation at hand. Like she was leaning more into the Passport Bro side, but you can also tell that it like the outrage that she had for the Passport Bros is fake, and she
Mm-hmm.
just learned about this whole situation.
Mm,
So even I shared with JP, I said, "Dog, you're gonna have a lot of mainstream excuse me, you're gonna have a lot of mainstream YouTubers, especially in the black YouTube sphere, who's gonna see this as a money cash grab."
right, and they're gonna start inviting them onto their channels to talk about the conversation they had with Stephanie, because
Mhm.
Stephanie is a celebrity in Brazil. Yeah, they
Mhm.
know what they're doing.
Yeah, like Stephanie is very huge in Brazil.
Hmm.
That's why I laugh when people say, "Well, Stephanie the nobody." I'm like, dude,
Hmm.
you gotta do your research.
Yeah.
That's why I had a screaming match with Brother Brother about that. I'm like, dude, you don't know your research about this woman. Like
Hmm.
this woman has been the places that have done things that you can't do.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these guys who are just aiming at Stephanie and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
they don't know who they're dealing with.
Right.
And now this whole situation with the Patrick Bros is making people who just want to, black men and women who just want to go on a vacation, who
Mm-hmm.
just want to see culture, who just want to enjoy themselves, they're making them look bad.
And if Austin Holloman had any sense, he would tell the truth to these people about who that woman is. He would do his research and he would advise them to knock off the negativity towards her because it's not helping his case.
hmm I've seen her get threatened, like physically threatened on Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
to
And he
the
needs to
point.
call his dogs back.
To the point where it's getting disturbing, where even people from Brazil is like, "Are you threatening her?" And they're like,
Mhm.
"No, well, I'm just saying." Da, 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 da. Like, no, you're threatening her, bro.
And they're
And
endangering the lives of other Americans there who have nothing to do with
mhm,
Holloman. Also, that's the other thing.
mhm,
He needs to take responsibility for what he's created and try to dial it back because it's become ridiculous and dangerous.
he needs to. After this whole situation, he needs to apologize, stay off of YouTube until this whole if this whole situation can blow over, which I doubt, he
It
needs to
can
stay
blow
off.
over if they stop feeding into it. If they don't like what she's saying about him, fine. Keep it to yourselves.
hmm
Don't go under her Twitter line. Don't do nothing. Her Facebook page, whoever. Stop talking bad about her because it's gonna get back to her, and it's not helping his case. And he needs to get back to Brazil to get his medication. So if you
hmm
really love Andre Austin Hallman so immensely, dial it back.
hmm
Talk
Well,
about him bad when she gets back when he gets back to the United States. But
yeah.
as long as he's in Brazil or wants to get back to Brazil or needs to, don't talk about that woman no more. Let it go.
And
You've
they
done
don't.
enough.
I'm sorry, and they don't know she's
I'm
collecting
sorry.
a lot of information. Like
Mm-hmm.
I know that from I just trust me, I know she's collecting a lot of information,
And
right?
their government is in turmoil right now, and they need
hmm
to really, really back down right now.
hmm Like she's got a lot of stuff
Mm-hmm.
that's going on. She got a lot of info about them from Passport Bro from various
Mm-hmm.
sources. And I know because I talked to her, she told me
Mm-hmm.
straight up, and I was just like, "Oh, okay, no
And
problem."
and there's a quote unquote feminism branch in every country
hmm
on the globe. So if
Yeah.
you think that the women in Thailand haven't heard about it and the women in Colombia haven't heard about it, everybody is hearing about it because the internet is global.
And they have to stop with this Thailand and Philippines thing because
Mm-hmm.
they don't know that their president over in Thailand is legit nuts. Like if you look up this man's history,
Mm-hmm.
he is legit nuts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He
Don't
makes
go over there playing with them girls.
he makes Trump look like a Sunday school teacher. He
Mm-hmm.
is nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And to go over there and do stuff like that and exploit what he's doing is is is
Hmm.
basically you're just asking for a powder cake, and we're witnessing it right now.
Playing
Where
Russian roulette, which is
mhm,
with your life.
yeah, he's playing Russian roulette with his life,
Mm-hmm.
playing putting in a huge powder cake with any black person that wants to travel
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because you're being so openly about this, and you
Mm-hmm.
think that a lot of these platform bros think that they're the smartest one in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And always said this when I talk to my mom, and it's about my brother who's the second oldest next to me. I'm the oldest of four, and my other brother he's the second oldest next to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I said he's gonna end up outsmart. He's gonna think he's the smartest person in the room until he outsmarts himself. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of these guys are outsmarting themselves and are getting caught in this situation, just like Austin is, where he's sitting there sad with the dumb dog look on his face, saying, "How did I get here?" You
Just
got
like
here.
Andrew Tate.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
Exactly like Andrew Tate. I told people if Andrew Tate wasn't bringing up how he knows Romanian gangsters and all this other stuff, nobody would be saying anything. And look at them now.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll learn somehow, but they'll learn. I'll just sit on the sidelines and watch until my name is brought
Flexing,
up.
flexing for clicks, flexing for views, flexing for the gram, all
Hmm.
this. Besides his despicable work that he was doing, he didn't
Hmm.
have any good criminal knows that you don't put your crimes out like that. The only person that gets away with that is Trump.
Yeah.
Only person. The rest of the world is not going for it.
Mm-mm.
And even he thought that they were going to be getting out this week, and they've extended it again for him. He needs to rethink his entire. Well, they're going to rethink it for him, I guess, because he snitched on himself because he's so busy being mm, just his ego. His ego, like you said, he outsmarted himself. That's a prime example of it.
He got 30 days, and we don't know. They might put another 30 days on him.
They can
So,
extend it as long as they want to, and then other countries could have warrants for him as well.
hmm of course. And now you're seeing what's going on with him now. So,
So it can
um,
happen small fry like Austin, or it can happen big fry like this guy.
hmm
But everybody's getting their turn. God is watching all of this. The universe is not pleased with this behavior because you all are taking things out of order and you're attacking women.
I said this when Kevin Samuels died, and I kept saying this. It's something that I learned from church, actually, and then I put in my everyday life. The energy that you give out to the world, that's how people gonna perceive you as.
Hmm.
Now, with Kevin Samuels, on one side he was perceived as this like a deity, like everything that he was saying was the gospel.
A guru.
Uh, yeah,
Hmm.
he was a guru. But on
Hmm.
the other side, he was damaging the community
On
heavily,
purpose.
and he was doing it just
Hmm.
like you said to get clicks,
Hmm.
to get views, to
Hmm.
get all this stuff because he never started like this. In
Hmm.
fact, the manosphere. If you look at this guy, his name is FD Signifier, and he broke it down. He said the manosphere that loved him so much now made fun of him when he was making out his content because he didn't know how to perceive his content as he was as confused as big truckers. He had numerous stuff going on, and he hoped that it stick. And then he found what he wanted to talk about. It stuck to a wall. He got viral, so that's what he spoke about.
Hmm.
And listen, the manosphere got mad at him until they found out that it gave them money, that it was able to get them money. So
Hmm.
now they're like, oh, okay, yeah, Kevin Samuels, he's my guy. I was like, you was just talking stuff about him a while ago. Where did this come from? But that's the energy that he brought into the world. So
Hmm.
when he passed away, all the men was like, how can you make fun of a dead person, even though he spoke ill of a dead person? But we're not going to bring that up, huh? Okay. But he did speak ill of a dead person, and women is like, hey, he spoke ill of a dead person. He spoke ill about women. Yes, he spoke ill about men too. Y'all want to be like, well, he spoke ill about men too. But what got him more viral? It wasn't with the men. It was with the women. So
What dead men did he talk about disparagingly?
he
Anybody?
he talked about a dead woman disparagingly.
Oh, I
I'm just
know
saying.
dead women. I know the
Hmm.
dead women he talked about disparagingly. I just want to know when they want to say that he did it to both. I want somebody to tell me what dead men he talked about disparagingly.
Oh no, he was talking about men disparaging, like when men went on his channel.
Mm-hmm. At
He would
first, yeah.
he would talk about them. He would talk
Mm-hmm.
about them the same way he would talk about women.
But he wouldn't diss dead men.
He wanted this, that, men, no.
But when he got here, he got so comfortable when he started getting his audience that he thought it was okay to diss dead women.
Because that he knew what audience he was pleasing. He knew what audience got him more viral.
Yeah, ignorant people.
Hmm. Like he knew that the men who who had something against women because they were rejected by women. We all get rejected by somebody, but
Mhm.
I got rejected by women. But I'm not
Mhm.
going to sit here and make a channel being outraged about women 24/7 because one, I got a mother, I got a sister, and I got a lot of female friends and
Mhm.
ex girlfriends that will legit talk about my ass on here
Yeah.
and be like, yo, we never seen you act like this and you don't
Mhm.
act like this. So cut it out. And I have men in my life that will literally sit me down and be like, knock it off. This is not how we men are supposed to act.
Right.
They don't have that male leadership that's going to sit them down and tell them to their face, knock it off. Stop it.
Or
You're
they're not
acting out of
listening,
turn.
or they
Yep.
refuse to listen.
They refuse to listen. Like my dad would straight up knock me upside my head. I'm taller than him, but he would knock me upside my head and be like, "Yo, knock it off. What you doing?"
Yeah.
Because he raised us because he first thing that he said was to us was learn from my mistakes,
Mhm.
and that's how I became who I am. Is learning from his mistakes and learning how he is. And a lot of men don't have that situation where they're learning from their mistakes. They feel like they know everything, but literally they don't, which is sad.
It's just like a fantasy of the absent parent. You make that person into the hero,
Mhm.
and the person that is taking care of you on a daily basis becomes the villain.
Mhm.
And whatever you conjure up in your mind about the negativity or whatever, the hatred you have for your mom on that day because she made you do something, whatever it was, and that you feel if your father was there, he would have did it differently. Not that you know this person, okay? You don't know
Right.
nothing about him, and if you do know him, he ain't gonna do nothing no different. But that's the fantasy that that you have always kept in your heart. And then when you get to this place where you want to believe that all the bad things that you thought about your mother in relation to your father must have been true. And here's this idiot out here selling you his story and telling you that it's yours too.
Mhm.
And they went for it.
Yeah, it
His
worked.
mother didn't get married till she was 51 years old. How are you telling these women that they can't get a husband after they 30 and 35? What are you saying?
Mhm.
His mother had one child, only him. So what are you talking about? All these single mama and all these baby. Oh, your mother. You said your mother didn't even have a bunch of boyfriends. I'm sure she had a few.
Mhm.
And then she waited until she was 51 and she got married. And now your stepfather, who you say is a great guy, but actually you think he's a simp. Why? Because when you got divorced your second time, you couldn't go running back to your mama's house. And now you're mad because you got rent an Airbnb
I,
and you ain't making no money at your job because you ain't got no job.
mm-mm.
So what you gonna do? You're gonna start your YouTube channel, and finally you found a niche, other miserable men who tuned in, and other women who misguidedly thought that you actually had some advice for them, that you meant them well somewhere. Instead, you used them. I'm sure he didn't give that girl a percentage or a dime of any of the money that he made
I'm
off of
sure of
her
it.
YouTube. And some of those girls, I believe he paid them to be on there and to act like they were just calling in. He said on this other YouTube channel I saw, some white guys were interviewing him, and he was saying that he learned that the way to make points with his boss was to rent an escort, bring the escort to the dinner party or whatever office event there was, and that would be impressive. And that sometimes the boss recognized the girl, and that made him look better in his boss's eyes even more, because if this is a girl that he had rented and Kevin could afford to rent himself, then that must be, mean that Kevin is some kind of quality. So now the boss would look favorably upon him in the workspace. I don't know where the hell he was ever working at all of this went on. But this is the story he was telling on this show, right?
Hmm.
So then he said how he would get other girls, strippers and people like that to show up to dinner parties and be there. He knew how to use that, use the women around him. He was pimping them basically, but he was paying them to show up at these parties, ding. And he had the same idea going on. So why wouldn't he get these same girls that he knows and pay them to come on his show and let him disparage them?
Read.
Sometimes when people, the same way people buy subscribers,
Hmm.
people buy views. Just like our little Milgilla gorilla friend over there. That's could have been what he was doing. All that talking he's doing. He's no different from, like I said, um, Queen Split, whatever his name is. Joe Budden.
Yeah.
Same
Oh,
thing.
my buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, cloud chaser.
Yeah. The funny thing about him, and the funny thing about truckers is that all the stuff that he was saying,
Mm,
I could have said like I worked in Manhattan.
mm-hmm.
I worked in probably the busiest street in Manhattan, which is the fashion district.
Yes.
I
Mm-hmm.
worked on that district before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I met celebrities before.
Mm-hmm.
I met Ralph Lauren before.
Right.
And when he's on Wall Street, I've been there. I've been right there. I've applied to jobs. I've worked around that area before too. I don't say it because it doesn't appeal to me for nothing, for anything.
Right.
It's not I don't want my like when he talks about his YouTube, I don't want my name to be, oh, he's this big YouTuber. I want it to be more meaningful.
Right.
Today's society sees YouTube and they think they can make their name off of that.
Yes.
Oh,
Mhm.
um, but not everyone can be a big YouTuber. Not everyone can be a Mr. Beast. Not everyone can be a PewDiePie when he was big and he was on TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone can do that.
And not everyone could sustain that.
No, here today, gone tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
He's the perfect example of it.
Mm-hmm.
So you see Austin Holloman who have to continually do this type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
because he wants to make it. That's what his name is now. Sadly, that's what his name is. And as much as he wants to say, "Well, I don't do that. I don't do that." That's what your name is. You put your name next to that.
And this is his job right now, and he has to make money in order to do what he needs to do.
Mhm.
He has to get money together to go, get on a plane and go wherever he has to go next. He
Mhm.
needs money to pay the rent wherever he is. No matter how cheap it is, it ain't free.
Right.
And he's got to keep stuff going. So I can understand why he's still putting up content. I just hope that he learns not to make the content about the girls. Make the content about the country. Show us these places. It was beautiful what he showed
Mhm.
on his video yesterday. I appreciated that. And he can keep doing that, and that'll keep him out of trouble. Because, like you said, the president over there is not one to fiddle with.
No. And plus I don't think he understands how good of a market he has if he can show the Philippines and show Thailand, especially Bangkok, how it is,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because everybody equals Bangkok to Atlanta here. If
Mm-hmm.
you know, you know. That's all I'm gonna say. If you
Mm-hmm.
know, you know. Bangkok is
Mm-hmm.
basically is Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Right.
if he talks about, because there's a lot of, I said last night, I talked to on the panel last night. There's a lot of culture
Mm-hmm.
that can be looked at. There's a lot of cheap hotels that are 5 star, 7 star hotels that are
Mm-hmm.
cheap that you can go to. You can go to a hotel every week until you leave the country, until
Mm-hmm.
you leave Thailand.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said, y'all, if I had a channel where I can travel,
Mm-hmm.
people would hate my channel. because I would be in a different hotel every week doing different type of stuff. It'll be like you remember MTV Cribs? The first day I'll get into my hotel room, it'll be like MTV Cribs.
Okay.
I did that when I went to Atlantic City
Hmm.
in New Jersey for my birthday. And
Okay.
I went like years ago. That's the
Mhm.
first thing I did. All my friends were like, "You're an idiot," but I'm glad you're having fun because that's what it should all be about. It should be about the culture. Are you enjoying what you're doing?
Mhm.
Are you having fun?
Mhm.
And is this getting you
The
money?
food.
Your food, yeah,
Mhm.
because the
Mhm.
food
The
and
architecture, the places of interest. Go on a tour. Pay for a
hmm
tour. All of these places have tours for real,
yeah,
but they go as groups, not and that's affordable.
hmm
I went to Chicago. I well, they didn't have YouTube then, but I took pictures, and I have my little album of that when I went to all these different cities that I've been to, Charlotte, places like that. And when I went to Panama, Barbados, Hawaii, it just is. There's just so much that you could fill your channel with,
hmm
at least long enough to get you safely back home.
yeah,
Doesn't have to be forever. And if they have any patience with you, they'll just still support you. Because a lot of them are enjoying whatever he puts up. It's entertainment for them. He don't have to always show, talk bad about women or show, women's bodies and things like that.
yeah. I think he learned that that's not what his fans want because his fans are enabling him to do that.
Mm-hmm.
If he changed it to where, and he's gonna get real sick and tired of that real quick
Mm.
because it's the enabling that they're doing to get
Mm-hmm.
so the women are interacting with his safety and they're interfering with his safety. So instead of just going, you know what, I'm not going to do that, he's going to keep doing that trash until it's going to interfere with his safety, where you're going to see him get run up on right on his channel. I
Well,
was I was shocked that nobody didn't do that while he was in Brazil. I was legit shocked.
well, Brothers Abroad was won by Dizzy that night, right? And he didn't care. He didn't care. So,
hmm I was in the room with that.
oh,
I
you
would
missed
have.
that one. Oh,
No, I would have had a 15. Dizzy would have been my best friend because me and brothers abroad do not like each other.
well,
We do not like each other.
Dizzy was telling him that all of the things that they were thinking about Brazilian women was not the truth.
Mhm.
That Brazilian women are the same as American women,
Mhm.
and that they don't like hearing about them talking bad about black women because they're black women too,
Yep.
and that they were being watched, these passport bros, and he especially was looking for Brothers Abroad that night. I mean, he came on Peso's channel asking for him, like you said, the other one did for you today, same
Yeah.
type of things. And they found him, and he came up late, and he didn't care what the guy was saying, and the guy was like telling him. That was the night when we all discovered that he didn't know who Pele was.
Oh.
Oh my god! Oh
Mm.
my god! And the guy Dizzy, he was like, don't come back here, bro. Really, don't come here. That means that you haven't tried at all to learn anything about the culture, even the basic stuff.
And everybody knows who Pele is. Basic. That's basic knowledge.
That's what we said to him. Then everybody like was it was like collective, like we couldn't believe him, and he was like, I don't know who y'all. He and he had no clue, and I was like, the girl don't even care about you.
Mhm.
Because she should at least schooled you. But maybe she didn't even think that you would be that ignorant that you didn't know. Because how could
Right.
you not? Because that's
Right.
like Jesus to them. I guess he knows now, hopefully, since he was home, during when Pele, rest in peace, passed away recently.
Yeah.
Because he's still in California, I think, right now. And hopefully he'll stay away from Brazil for a minute.
Yeah, because it's looking crazy for him too. And even though I
Mhm.
don't like him, I don't wish nothing bad on him.
Nope. None of them. Don't wear nothing.
I
Nothing there.
can't because that, and like I said, that energy comes back on you. Even though
Hmm.
I've said my things towards him and Flint and Johnny and all that stuff,
They
nah.
just, they all need to get their hands slapped a little so they
Hmm.
can get a little pow pow, but nothing to hurt them, nothing to, dismember them, nothing like that. But they, hard head carries soft ass, right? And that's what
Hmm.
our parents always told us. So we just need to see, I guess.
Yeah, everybody needs their jaw touched once in a while, and they need their jaw touched. And I kept saying that in the chat. I was like, you need your jaw touched so bad right now. Like you don't know how bad you
Oh
need to
my
get hit in the
God.
jaw because you're coming out your mouth. Well,
They
oh
be
yeah,
playing themselves. Well, I'm like, these people, it, hmm, they would never even talk to me like that to my face. I know that.
I know they can't talk to me. I know they can't. They can't. Even in my position that I have right now, they can't
Hmm.
do it. They really can't. I've
Mm,
my mom will legit. Like I'm so glad my mother don't have a YouTube channel because she will legit tell everyone's stories. Like my sons, if I bring them up by name to anyone around our neighborhoods or around our town,
hmm.
they'll shut the hell up quick. And
Mm,
it wasn't because we're big and bad. Nothing about me is big and bad. Nothing about my
hmm.
youngest brother. That's my tag team partner. Like that's
Hmm.
nothing about us is big and bad. It's just the way we carry ourselves.
Hmm.
So when Drucker was screaming loud and stuff like that, I was like, New Yorkers don't talk like that. I don't scream loud. I'm the most quietest person in the room. If I'm drunk, I'm really the quietest person in the room.
Hmm.
I'm just scanning the room when I'm drunk.
But you're a Pisces, so that's what you are. You're not gonna
Mhm.
act like that. He's a clown. I don't know when he was born or if he was where he was hatched, but obviously he's too close to the subway.
Mhm.
That was his. Because that was his excuse. Oh, it's loud in New York. Okay, I'm loud, but that's ridiculous what he say.
I can get loud, but I can change. I can also change my tone when I want.
Yes, I don't think he might have some kind of hearing problem himself.
Mhm.
He may have some need headphones himself,
Yeah.
because that was ridiculous. But if that's how he's a carnival barker,
Mhm.
he is like look at me, look at me, look at me, and he think that this is gonna get him followers, especially the guys. He's thinking that he's talking to the peso, the passport brother crowd on Peso's channel, and some of them are listening, of course.
Yeah, of course.
They're listening, so some of them may, and they could do that. They could subscribe to Peso and him too. There's no limit to how many channels you can subscribe to. You don't have to not subscribe to one person in order to subscribe to another person. You can
Mhm.
subscribe to whatever you want to watch, all over YouTube. But he's just in competition, and like a lot of these insecure men are, and they want to compete with women. They resent us. They
But
resent what they see are the opportunities that they think the white man has given to us, um, and left them, to the side. When whatever opportunities he gave them, they said, "I don't want nothing from the white man." So what the fuck? Which way you want it? When they were giving you work to do, you're like, "I don't need shit from the white man." When he's, whenever they're ready to do, okay, you don't want to take out a loan, da 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 da. Okay, you don't want to build up your credit. No, credit is the way to. Yeah, okay, okay, but guess what? Black women play the game, and they work, and they pay their bills, and they build, and they create a nest for themselves, whether or not they have children, because they know they're not guaranteed a husband.
mm-mm.
They're well aware of it, and even the ones that think they're guaranteed look at what they have to contend with and know that they have to save something to decide for their future no matter what. Because you see how the world is,
Mhm.
and you see how fickle men are.
And the thing that they don't understand is, and which I can't understand, why you go get in competition with women when women aren't the main competition you
Because they
should be.
can't compete with the white man.
They can't. They seriously can't. And
They
I had.
can, but they're afraid to.
Mhm.
They can.
Mhm.
They can because they. Let me tell you something. These brothers, I don't care. Some of them, yeah, they may be slow, but even in that slow, there's gifts in these men, in these brothers. These are the people who can write poetry, write books, plays, songs. They can craft things. Let me tell you, even if inmates in the jail ain't got nothing to do but think of bad things, and they come up with some ingenious shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're capable if they put their minds to it, if they focus, if they don't feed into the distractions around them, and they can come up with greatness.
Mhm.
They were kings, they were astrologers. Everybody was not a king, everybody did not have a kingdom, but they had jobs within those kingdoms that made them important because
They had
everybody don't
titles
have it.
that meant something.
They had titles that meant something. They had skills and gifts that were respected in their communities, in their tribes. This is also in their DNA, along with all of the trauma and everything else. The same way that that we were diluted with the white man, they were diluted too because they were the children.
Mhm.
There's trauma that has been passed down, right? Slavery has been
Yeah.
traumatizing, and Jim Crow was traumatizing over and over and over and over again. And we're the last people, as people, to look about our mental health. And as Black women have been taking care of their mental health, we have gotten stronger and better. So why don't you take a page? We don't care if you copy us. It's for the betterment of the community. We have no problem sharing this secret with you. That you can find the magic in yourself. The same magic that you hate that we have is in you too.
Mhm.
We the same people. Just stop being so hateful
Yeah.
and listen. Just listen. I know they're tired of listening to women. I understand it. I get it. But that's just the way God made it, hon. That's just the way God made it, right? You know?
Mhm.
Because you don't listen to yourselves. God knew, according to their story, God knew Adam before he knew Eve, right?
Yep.
So why would you listen to Eve tell you anything that you know God had told you not to do? But you do it, and then you're going to blame it on Eve.
Mhm.
Because God didn't come asking Eve, what have you done? He
He
said,
asked Adam.
Adam, what have you done? That woman you gave me. Oh, okay. Really? You coward.
Mhm.
You didn't, that was his opportunity to leave right there. That was the sin
Mhm.
that did him in,
Mhm.
not taking accountability for his role and blaming it on his partner, blaming it on somebody else, blaming it on the woman, always the woman's fault. It's tired, guys. Hasn't
That's,
gotten you anywhere. Hasn't gotten us as a community anywhere.
it hasn't. It really hasn't.
Has not benefited any of us
Mhm.
at all. So we are not perfect
Mhm.
at all. Listen, I'd rather be around men than be around women anyway, honestly. Because no, I'm being honest. Because they can be much. They can be much. It's too much. But I know I can have a intelligent conversation for the most part with women.
Mhm.
No more than four or five at a time. But it gets to be too much for me too. And I think it gets to be too much for most women if they be honest about it.
Yeah, I see women say that.
Right. So we get it. We understand.
Hmm.
We were tired of hearing our mothers yap, yap, yap too. When they was yapping at y'all, they were yapping around. We heard it, whether they was directed to us or not. We were sick of them too. But we processed it a different way. We got problems with our mothers too, just like y'all do.
Hmm.
And our sisters and our brothers. It ain't all daddy issues. Some people's daddies was cool guys, good. you know? And it wasn't their fathers or their mothers. It was their siblings.
Yeah, my mom had gray hair for them too. She point them out too.
Mm-hmm.
this is this is the gray hair that you and your brother had when your
Mm-hmm.
brother gave me when y'all were running out Times Square in the club and
Damn.
almost about to start a riot.
She could see the episodes in her hair, right? Each
Hmm.
curl had its own story. I know.
That's why she don't have a YouTube channel because she'll tell stories. Y'all be coming back here like y'all did what at the Copacabana? Oh, see this, and then be like, oh, see what had happened was no, that was my brother. I was in the corner drinking,
Mm-hmm.
and then I showed up, and then apparently to my brother everything went dark.
Mm. Oh my.
That's what-
All right. Well, she don't need to hear that, mom.
no, she knows the story. We
Uh,
told her. We told her the story one
mm.
like my parents. After they got from parents, they were cool. They
So
under
you
they.
because I was getting ready to say because your mother knew what she and your father did back in their time, so she probably
Hmm.
wasn't too shocked. She was just like,
Yeah,
mm.
she would tell stories like I did stuff back in the day. I said yes, ma'am,
Mhm.
and said just don't do what we did. And we're like yes, ma'am. And my dad, please don't do what I did. Like I said,
Mhm.
I say yes, sir. And
Yes.
then we be coming back. He
Mhm.
be coming back from because when I was used way before my current situation, I was living by myself. So we were all meet up in the city, and we would just all meet up in the city, and that's when trouble would begin. And and my mom will always tell people when it came to me and those that gave trouble because there have been men who have there were predators that lived in the neighborhood. There have been
Mhm.
guys who haven't been for the neighborhood that live in the neighborhood. And she said, when it comes to my oldest boy, understand there's a reason why I didn't tell him about you.
Mm.
There's a reason why I didn't tell my youngest son about you. When it comes to my oldest son, you gotta talk to him either like a man, you gotta talk to him like a man. If you can't talk to him like a man, you better talk to him like a mental patient because he's gonna hurt you. Like he will hurt you severely. If you come at his mom, if you come at his father, if you come at anybody in his family or anybody who he cares about, the way they do because he was raised that way.
Mm.
And same thing with my younger brother.
Mhm.
Like he has a gang of friends that when stuff happened, they will all come outside and stuff like that. See,
Mhm.
I can't tell you those stories because
Yeah.
I
No.
ain't
No. No. No.
no
No.
can't bring up no cases.
Right. Right. Right.
So
Right. Right. Right.
but I mean, there's a lot of stuff
Entertainment
that
purposes only.
for entertainment
Entertainment
purposes only.
purposes only. Fair use. Fair.
It's fair use. We had our run-ins.
Mhm.
There's been issues, but like you said, like my mom said, like my those two right there
Mhm.
will do anything for one another. They
Mhm.
will do anything for this family because
Mhm.
they were taught and raised like that,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
they will do anything for this community. There's stuff that hello, hi.
Now, your parents both American, like
Hmm?
they.
Oh yes, I'm still in bed today.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's
Um,
okay. Are your parents both African American here, or do they have roots that go back to the Caribbean or to England or Africa, or
we all over the place.
Oh.
We're African American from my
Hmm.
grandmother. My grandmother said my grandfather's Haitian.
Oh, okay, okay.
My it's part
Oh yeah,
Haitian.
Andre. Right. Okay, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
my my mother, her
So
family,
you
she
must be
has Native
really
American.
insulted when these people be talking bad about Haitians. What's up, right?
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
uh, and plus, like a lot of the nurses that helped me
Hmm.
are West Indian,
Of course.
and a lot of the women that like here who I speak to, who I have, who I'm cool with, they're West Indian, and they're the most nicest, sweetest people you can ever meet. Just don't piss them off. And
The best nurses in the world.
like I would sit there
Hmm.
and I would talk to them, and they are just like the sweetest women in the world,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
and so kind.
Shout out
So
to my mom who was a nurse and my
mhm.
sisters who are nurses.
Shout out to my friend who she's getting her she's a nurse right now, and she wants me to move where she's at, upstate, further upstate,
Where?
because Poughkeepsie. She was like, move to
Mm,
Poughkeepsie with me, and I
mm.
was just like, I would love to,
Is she
but
gonna be your all day nurse? Ow.
I can't say anything. But
Well, listen.
she's been there when I say it like this. She's been there when I've been in other relationships where I bang my head on the wall. So
Let me tell
she,
you something. If she's an RN, they'll
hmm
pay her to stay home with you.
oh yeah,
And you have 24-hour everything.
hey. hmm
24-hour anything.
hmm
You
Oh,
might want to
can,
consider that invitation.
give me 1 second because I'm getting
Yes,
eye drops right now.
yes,
So just give me
absolutely.
1 minute.
Yeah.
Yo, yes, you the homie. You know.
Look up.
Look up. Okay.
Sorry, I didn't know you were occupied.
Hello.
Watch out, watch out. There you
Okay.
go. One
Okay.
more. You have one
Okay.
more set.
No problem. Are they treating you better?
Yes.
Okay, so I ain't gotta chuck nothing at nobody.
No,
Cool.
no chucking.
No problem.
No
I think they
chucking.
mellowed out.
No problem because even though
Look up.
my aim is still good.
Oh yeah?
Mm.
Yeah.
I had terrible aim.
I used to, but then dealing with people made my aim better. I'll just say it like that because I want you to have like respect for me.
I have respect for you already. Don't you worry.
At previous jobs, I used to have to like throw boxes around like,
Mhm.
you're not doing your job today.
Oh, you used to spaz out on your coworkers?
I used to be like the older brother.
Okay.
I worked at Victoria's Secret where I was the only guy. So I had
Mm.
to be the older brother.
Right.
And there was this one woman who I love. She's like my older sister. She's like a motherly figure. I call her work mom.
Uh-huh.
She is my work mom, my work auntie. When I was living by myself, her
Uh-huh.
and her husband now, they used to make food and her husband was like, give it to Andre.
Uh-huh.
And like, what? Let's give it to Andre. Let's give it to him. And she would
Uh-huh.
come in and say, James made you food. I was like, okay, yay.
Aw.
Like Uncle James made me food. So I would come back home and I would eat the food up.
Aw.
And she invited me to her wedding and she told stories about me to her husband. And her husband, when I said, oh, hi, my name is Andre, pleasure to meet you, sir. And the first thing he said, and God knows I'm telling the truth, he said, he said, oh, I heard about you. And I just froze and I was like, what stories did you hear, sir? And he's just like, oh, the good ones, when you almost beat up someone because they were messing with my wife. I said, oh, yeah, that story. Okay.
Uh-huh. Yes.
hmm
Yes. Yes, you're a good guy.
hmm
You can tell that. And good on you and good on your parents.
Yeah, it was, they had to, it took a lot of work. Let me just say it like that to
Oh
be where
no.
I am.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I tell that to anybody. I say I'm not always a good guy. It's just I had to be. It was a lot of teaching, and I had to be taught to carry myself in a particular way. So when I see these passport bros talking and running their mouth, it angers me a lot because
Because
the
life is easier when you're a good guy.
hmm
It really is.
yeah,
Takes a lot of stress down.
hmm like I try to be. I'm cool with everybody. It can be from the LGBTQ community.
Hmm.
It can be white, black, whatever, Latin, whatever. I try to be cool with everybody.
Right.
Like, I give you the same type of energy,
Hmm.
no matter who you are.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, that's how it should be. Unless somebody crosses you, then they get, you know,
Yeah, if somebody
they get
crosses
it.
me,
They get the pow pow.
then
That's
that's it.
all.
You
That's
know,
all.
they
That's
get a size 15 foot on the side of their head, and I can't really say anything except, sir, he was like that when I got here.
all.
That's the only thing I can say.
And I'm not even addressing it. And I'm not mad, but I did it.
Like I can't even say like
Yeah, I did.
I've 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 had my well, not my issues with police. I've ran into police plenty of time before. At my current at my last job, I had plenty of issues with police,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't like me doing the trouble. It was me calling them because they had to fix some stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
like I gave them the same energy and respect that they had to give me.
Yeah.
So it's from I've always told I was telling I don't know where as young people we lost the ways of getting wisdom and getting wise counsel from those that are older than us
When
and
the
getting it
white
from
man told
YouTubers.
when the white man told parents they could not spank us anymore, or we couldn't spank us anymore, or we couldn't spank ours anymore, even though spanking is horrible, but that meant no discipline. That's when they took it to another level. And then they told them kids somewhere that you don't owe nobody respect. They have to gain your respect. That's the difference.
Mhm.
Because we were raised, for the most part, that just the fact that your mother is the respect that she has earned.
Mhm.
Just the fact that your father is your father, he gets a little level of respect no matter what. You're not here to judge your parents.
Right.
You can learn from your parents, and as you get older, you can apply and you can let fly what you need to, but the disrespect. And so then they carry it to the school
Mhm.
and they carry it to the workplace and the way they interact with one another. Disrespectful on both sides, male and female,
Right.
because there's no discipline in the home, and everybody wants to blame it on the mother ain't home because she a single mother. Both parents wouldn't be home because the prices are what they are. Landlord don't give you a break just because you married
Mhm.
and your husband is the only person working. No, rent is still the rent. So go out there and your wife can work too, or your baby, whoever you cohabitating with. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Right.
it's like ridiculous. You want 1950s action on 2023 prices.
And it doesn't work like
It
that.
can't be like that. The system isn't made to support any of us. This is a capitalist society, and they've allowed these employers, the Republicans for the most part, to raise prices while keeping the salaries low. And you can't blame that on the black women because
Can't.
they making more money than you. Never have. This one here, this one there, but as a whole, no. Okay. You can't blame that on women in the workplace because they wasn't paying them either,
Mhm.
black or white. And the person you should be blaming it on,
You refuse to blame it
you
on.
refuse to blame it on. You refuse to even talk to him.
Mm-mm.
Right? You don't even go to the assembly. You don't want to vote. You don't want to make your voice heard unless it's to hurt your own people, being your women and your children. Because no matter what, you feel that your children don't deserve to eat if their mother can get her hair done. Come on, y'all.
Mm-mm. I've dealt with
Ugh.
women who've been single mothers. That's been what mostly I dated, which is cool. I don't care. I always said it's a package deal,
Mhm.
and I said if I have to be with you, then I have to be with the child,
Mhm.
and that's how life is. And she understood. And when the first time I met the father or the person who they were dealing with before me,
Mhm.
I would get looked at like, oh, they want to fight. I get men. I don't know if you've seen it, but
Mhm. Mhm.
when it comes to the
Testosterone takes over.
testosterone takes over and they size you up
Yeah, got to.
for a fight, and they
Got to.
size you up, which is understand. I got sized up plenty of time by these guys,
Mhm. Mhm.
so I tried, and there's been aspects where I tried from their perspective, be like, you know what, this is your child as well. You
Mhm.
took part
Mhm.
in the giving
Conception.
birth of the
Conception of
conception.
this
Thank
child.
you, of
Mhm.
this child.
Mhm.
So if you want to spend time with the baby, spend time with the baby. When they're like, oh, I don't have a pen to give you my number, I hand them the pen. Here's the pen.
Mhm.
Yeah, write down your phone number.
Right.
Mm, I wipe my hands clean. Is there certain things that she needs to learn or he needs to learn?
Mhm.
If I'm the only one that's there, then I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Mhm.
There's been times where my my ex ex my well one of my exes she had a 6-year-old daughter, and like when she wasn't able to work, when she went to work and was able to take her to daycare, I did.
Mhm.
I took her to daycare. Yep, come with me. We would wake up, we would go to the bathroom, brush her teeth at the same time,
Mhm.
wash her face. I'll teach her to wash her face.
Mhm.
To teach her to do all these things. Teach her to put on her clothes. All right, how's your hair? I did not know a thing to do with hair. I did not know anything. I had to ask a lot of my friends from church who are mothers. Okay, how y'all do this?
Mm.
And then they would laugh at me, and they're like, "Having a hard time, huh?" I'm like, "I'm trying so much to figure this out."
Oh, look at you.
And I'm like, and we were supposed to be married, but like I said, my idiot brain messed that up.
Mm.
You know, it haunts me to this day.
Okay.
But it's something that you have to learn. You gotta learn from your mistakes. Constantly learn from your mistakes. So
Right.
that's the mistake I gotta learn
Yeah.
with idiot brain. But but yeah, I try to do it as much as I can. I know today's men will be like, "Oh, well, that's a simp." Well, I'm sorry. That's how much I cared for her. That's how much I cared for the baby. I cared for her
Mhm.
like she's my own.
Absolutely.
She will roll with me. Oh yeah, you want to go work with me?
Mhm.
Okay, let's go to work. I worked at Godiva Chocolates at the time. Do you know how hard it is to get a little girl to not yank up chocolates that they want to buy, knowing that those chocolates cost $30?
Yep.
I used to, can I get this? And then she'd be screaming, Dad, like Andre. No, she's screaming out Andre
Yeah.
or
Mhm.
Dad,
Mhm.
and she'd be like, Andre, can I get this? I'm like, no.
Mhm.
It's like and my coworkers they didn't help me because that's why I be screaming at them. They don't
Mhm.
help me because they're like, Dre, you can get that on discount. Give it to the girl. Give it to the baby. I'm like, you're not
No.
helping. You're not
Right.
helping. I'm not trying to spoil this child.
Mhm.
I'm not trying. Her mother did security. Her mother can tackle me. I'm big. I'm 6'2". I weigh 240 pounds at the time. She
Right.
can still yoink me up and body slam me on the bed. I'm not trying to get that done to me. I'm trying, okay? Y'all
Right.
don't understand.
Right.
But
Right. Right.
but
Right.
a
Right.
lot of men don't. A lot of men look down on that. A lot of men look down
And
on.
there are a lot of men who do that too, and
Mhm
who are that, whether they're the father or they're not, and
mhm
sometimes they're the uncle and sometimes the big brother, and they don't get the appreciation that I guess that they think that they should. And sometimes it's never enough appreciation, just
mhm.
like it's never enough appreciation for us women, right?
Right.
It's not easy raising children. It's not easy doing the right thing where children are concerned. It's a lot easier to be lazy about your role in a child's life,
Mhm.
you know, and not taking advantage of situations either, you know.
Right.
So that you're a good man. You're a man that can be trusted with a little girl, you know,
I
and that's
tried to
real
be.
important. That's very important to mothers.
Mhm.
But you have to understand the fear because
Mhm.
a lot of us have been violated, right?
Mhm.
So they have to have some empathy. They, people really need to have empathy. We don't know where we've come from, and we're not going to tell you all of our, deep, dark secrets.
Right.
You know, sometimes we haven't admitted to ourselves what happened in some of these situations.
Mhm.
The same way you haven't told anybody. Men don't tell all their secrets, so why do they think that women are supposed to tell them all theirs?
Right. It's only fair. Like I understand there's a lot of stuff that there's a bridge.
You got to see if you're dealing with somebody who's going to throw things up in your face the first time
Mhm.
you have an argument.
Mhm.
Are they going to be using this against you
Mhm.
when you make yourself vulnerable? If
Mhm.
men are afraid that that's what women are doing to them, imagine how many women have had that done to them, and that's why they may hold some things back.
You're right. Exactly. I can't like I'm there's a lot of stuff that I'm vulnerable to
Mm-hmm.
that I don't share. I share on the panel a
Mm-hmm.
little bit because I don't know who's going through what. You don't know who's listening.
Mm-hmm. Are you able to journal?
Yeah.
Can you write?
Oh yeah, I'm able to write. Like it's basically my right hand is my writing hand. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to write.
Okay.
It's just there's a lot like I'm able to just write things down, jot things down. So I
Start, yeah.
try to
Start
do
a
as much as I
journal.
can.
Start a journal, even if
Hmm.
it's after the Peso Man channel when you can't get your word out. You know,
Yeah.
make a critique of it. You don't know what that might be one day. It could become a book, or it could become something.
Or sermonette.
A sermonette of your own on your own channel. The
Hmm.
other fools can make money.
Yeah.
Why
I've
not?
been I've been told to make my own channel from everybody to my mom to the nurses here, and I have to tell them no. And I literally have to tell them no. They say why, and I said because the first week I will get banned because I will say something, and then Andre from the old Andre has to come back and has to say some things that yeah, and y'all
Well,
be having they're like Miss Patsy, you gotta talk to Andre. Why? You just gotta talk to Andre. Get Tam to talk to Andre. One of y'all gotta talk to Andre. DJ Rico, y'all gotta talk to Andre. Why? Because he is wilding. Did you see his
really?
live? He blacked out. He thought he forgot who he was for. He thought he was Andre in the hood for a second, and he
Uh-uh.
went and he said something.
Hey, sometimes they gotta get a pow pow, right?
Hmm. Even the funniest part is that even my reverend said it. Like
Mm.
Reverend, my reverend was like, Andre, we need that Andre from the block to speak for us. I'm like, Reverend, no, you don't.
Yes, we do. We're
he's like,
desperate. Do you
he's
hear
like,
these idiots? Do you
he's
hear
like,
these idiots? Do you hear these idiots? Do you hear them?
I
Yes.
do,
All hands on deck, Andre.
I do, but it's just like I've the
All
people
hands on deck.
the people from my neighborhood where I used to live at because used to live in a rough neighborhood where
Mm-hmm.
everybody knew me
Mm-hmm.
there and they knew how I carried myself and my name used to be Church Boy
Mm-hmm.
and they would talk to me. We would literally sit. These were dudes with felonies. These were dudes that would beat people up with golf clubs. Dudes that would do all types of stuff. And as soon as they see me, they will sit right there in the corner and we will have like conversations. Just legit
So,
conversation, just calm conversations.
and all you got to do is do it, and you don't have to let nobody up on the panel, and
Mhm.
you can just do a sermon on a Sunday morning like tomorrow
Mhm.
and say what you got to say.
Yeah.
You ain't the only person around. These idiots aren't the only people with voices,
Right.
and you are not obligated to have anybody on your live, or you can make a video and just upload it to YouTube. You
Mhm.
know, you're not obligated to interact with these jerks.
I wanted to do a video about Comic Con and comic culture in the black community,
Hmm.
and anime culture in the black community. That's what the main thing I wanted to do.
Then that's what you
But
should do.
that's what I should do. But yeah. But
You
I
could do that under another name.
mhm
So in case you use one channel to cuss them out, they don't need to know that you're the same person on the anime channel.
mhm
You can all you need is a different Gmail address. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna hurt them.
mhm.
You
I
can do
would.
things to your voice, all kinds of shit. You know what I'm saying? You could they'll never notice you cussing them out that they playing anime with
Mhm.
because they ain't that smart.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that one day
You should.
because one day I'm gonna try and get
Some of
that
them is
done.
listen. They calling you out and stuff. Listen, you're not scared of these dudes.
Oh, I'm not. They called me out. Some of them sent me their addresses to where they live.
Oh no.
Yeah, yeah, they did. They
See,
did.
that's
They
stupid. Come
did that.
on.
They did that on when we all went to Big Boss's channel.
Mm-hmm.
They did that. Johnny did that. When I found
Oh,
out,
did he?
Johnny was like, "Yeah, I live in Miami." And you see, he was when we were
Make sure
pushing
you
to them.
screenshot these little things they doing.
He was like, "I live here." I'm like, "Okay," and they're like, "Well, I live here. You want to come and see me?"
There's
I'm
an
just like,
FBI in every state, Johnny.
I'm like, what is that gonna do? What? I'm not gonna get myself arrested because you want to be Mister Billy Badass. I'm not gonna do that. Okay.
Right. Right.
I had one guy say, I live in Fordham Road. Da 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 Fordham Road.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Big Boss is saying, nah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh,
Wow.
and I tell him to his face, I'm like, you know how many? And the last thing I said to him that kind of scared him off was I said, you know how many times I used to frequent Fordham Road, and you're telling somebody that, and I said, you don't know who you know off of here, so why are you bringing that up? Like,
Mm.
I'm not gonna bring up my address, one, because that's stupid, and two, not only is it stupid, it's because I also know who lives around that area.
Mm.
So I also know what would happen if somebody from the Bronx would show up around where I live, or
Mm.
God forbid where my parents live. Because last time that happened, not to me but to somebody else, somebody got shot and killed.
Oh.
So I know the
And
history of
there's
this place.
nothing that is being said here
And I'm
or
sorry. I'm sorry
anywhere
for saying like that.
on
It's
YouTube that is worth anybody going through that. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Like, come on, guys.
yeah. It's like last time I seen somebody come here and start a fight. Like, people had to legit text me and call me. Well, yeah, we just sitting here and somebody got shot. Like, my dad talked to me, and me and my dad talk a lot. Me and my dad, I thank God for this, that what I'm going through, because me and my dad didn't have that good of a relationship. But our
Mm-hmm.
relationship kind of built right now, so I thank God for that.
Thank
Um,
God.
and he's just like, well, son, we're sick. Oh God, well, son, we're sitting here and all this stuff is going on, and da 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 da. Da. Just thank God you're
Mhm.
at where you're at right now. That's all he says, and I'm just like, oh, okay. No, it's just it's nothing's worth nothing. No YouTube beef is worth losing your life over. So
No.
so those
Or your livelihood, your job.
right.
But we don't need to be threatening people's, employment,
Hmm.
any of that nonsense. Just like if this is freedom of speech, say what you got to say, but you ain't got to take this to that other level.
Hmm.
And if you want to dock somebody's channel on YouTube itself, that's one thing. But to take it outside
Hmm.
to someone's place of employment, come on, stop.
Yeah.
We're again each other's worst enemies.
Yeah.
'Cause
The,
if there are that many views on this channel, it's not just the few of us who interact and the comments and whatever who is watching. We don't have 300, 400 people up on the panel or 300, 400 people making comments in the chat.
right.
But
Hmm.
though there may be 300, 400 people watching. Who's watching? Let's be mindful of that, folks. And everybody that's watching doesn't mean our community the best. Now we know some of us don't care about that,
There's
but
a lot of people don't care about
the majority of us, even the most ignorant, the dusty of us, do care about what we look like
it.
in the greater community.
Hmm.
If not just for ourselves, it's for our parents and for our children. But when you ain't got no, listen, he has nothing to lose. He wouldn't have been saying all of that this evening if he had.
Right. Right. Oh,
Ridiculous.
it is ridiculous on
Real
here.
estate on Wall Street. Where? What?
And then he's saying all that noise, and I'm just like,
What? Please.
okay. Well, I got Wall Street. I'm like, okay.
He got a room in a building that address is on Wall Street, or it's listen. He ain't trying to know. Or maybe he is out there screaming, and that's why he's so loud because he's down on Wall Street, at the stock exchange all day, screaming over to each other. They do that, so maybe that's what the problem is.
Mhm.
But I don't think he want them to know that this is what he's doing on his spare time.
They definitely don't know. They don't want to know
Nah.
because if they soon as they find out,
Mhm.
it's gonna get clipped. They're gonna be like, listen, you can't. You're a representative of us.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
can't do that.
Right. They have an image to uphold,
Mhm.
and that's just not cool. Especially now that the intention is being brought from what's going on with Holman. Holman.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. What was good yesterday may not be that good next week. Right.
Right.
So, YouTube might end up having to take down a whole bunch of these channels with no one asking.
It's gonna be like that. I have a feeling that there's a lot of stuff that's gonna happen in the next few weeks that's
Mm-hmm.
gonna have a domino effect,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna have a huge domino effect. So I'm keep your eyes peeled. Like I said, I'm just gonna sit in the corner and just watch, and then I'll say something when it needs to be said.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, because I kind of know the trickle down effect when it comes to YouTube and a popular trend,
Mm-hmm.
and this trend is becoming it's becoming very popular, not because of
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, but because of other websites.
And you need to reserve your energy for what you need it to be, which
Mhm.
is getting better,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
I
getting
definitely do.
and tell your father about these idiots. Maybe he can come and fight for you one night too.
Oh no, he gonna be like, you're morons, you're idiots. He gonna get everybody
But maybe
banned.
that's what they might need to hear from an older gentleman.
My dad's gonna get everybody banned.
Oh, okay.
My dad will get every. You think I'm ruthless? No, my dad will get everybody banned.
Okay.
He's gonna be like all of y'all. He hangs out with black people and Italians. He
Oh,
will cuss everyone out
oh,
in
oh,
so many ways
right,
possible
right,
that it won't be funny.
right. We don't need him and his friends up in here. No.
No, you're gonna be hearing me in the background like daddy, daddy,
Yeah,
father,
yeah.
father.
Right, 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 right.
I told my mom about these clowns, and my mom was just like, "What type of fuck shit is this?" And that's the only thing she said. She's like, "What type of what?" And
Mm,
I told her about Johnny, and she was just like, she said, Did he really send you where he?" I said, "Yeah." Does he
mm,
know what type of people we know down there? I said, "No."
mm.
And then she's like, "What?" Like, she literally sat there like, "This dude's
Is
a
he from the
moron."
Bronx?
Who? Which one?
Johnny.
Johnny from Miami.
Oh, stop, Johnny.
Johnny from Miami,
So he
Florida.
gonna come here to visit somebody's cousin and get in trouble?
No, he's from Miami, Florida.
So he needs to stop threatening people in New York.
So I he stopped. He shut up with me when he gave me his address, and I told him very calmly, "Do
Mm,
you know who I know from Florida?"
mm,
And he just shut up. And I said, I have family in Florida.
He don't know that. He
He
don't know
he,
that a
he knew
lot of
that.
people in New York have
I
families
have
in
family in
Florida.
Florida.
You don't get that?
He figured that out that day. I said, you
Mm.
know how much family I have in Florida?
Tampa,
You know
Ja-
why I had.
Jacksonville,
Hmm.
Miami, South. Come on, dudes. Come on, stop.
Like I didn't even tell him. Like I didn't even tell him the day I was banned from Florida. Like I was banned to go because
Mm,
there've been days that I was banned to go from Florida. Like no, you can't go down there, and it was
mm,
over some like stuff that issues that were out of my control.
right.
And I had family, I had
Family.
friends, I had people basically said, Andre, you and yours can't be down here because if you do, something's going to happen. I'm
Mm,
like, okay, understandable. I'm not going to show up.
yeah.
Like I said, because I care about my family very much so.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
anybody would tell you, Andre cares about his family,
As you should.
and that's it. And he cares about family and children.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And if you and the elderly, and if you don't fit into one of those three demographics, Dre's going to treat you some type of way, and you're not going to like it. And that's
That's what I'm saying. Just turn it on one Sunday past to let them know.
but one day.
All right. Let's get out of here. We have
Okay.
It's late. You need to get your dinner and all of that stuff
Oh
gone.
yeah, I ate already.
You ate while we were talking?
I ate while we were talking.
Good. Good.
So yeah, I'm probably gonna talk to my friend and
Hmm.
from California to see how she's doing
Okay.
and try to catch up with family
Yeah.
because they've been trying to talk to me the past couple of days about what I was going through and
Hmm.
the 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 issues that I've been having. So
Right.
yeah, so
Well, tell your dad hi when he comes.
I will. I'll tell him hello. I will tell him
Tell him
hello.
hello. Happy New
Mhm.
Year from all of us.
I will. One
Uh,
day I'll probably have him on the chat, but I'll just have to tell him, please don't get banned. Please don't
oh,
get me banned.
maybe it could be one of the calmer subjects that Peso post or something.
Yeah, I'll just be like, Dad, just say hi.
And
Hi.
thank you for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate it.
No problem. No problem at all. No problem at all. Thank y'all for defending me earlier today. I really appreciate that. You didn't know how much that meant to me when
Mm.
y'all were just like defending me. I was like, oh, thank you.
That's what I said. Come out of here with this nonsense. Why are we standing here allowing this? Why? Why? Come on. That's why I said I never do this. I know my subscribers are like, what is Ia Patsy doing? But this is my alter ego, folks. I take care of the collective in the spiritual community, but I have to take care of the collective in my community as a black
Mhm.
woman, and to do what I need to do to help bring that vibration up as much as I can.
Okay.
And it's part of the gift. That's part of what God has given me to do. So, because these are my people,
Right.
my tribe. So I got to do this too. And it's not that I'm neglecting. I'm trying to do both, but doing those readings takes a lot of energy out of me.
Yeah.
And but this kind of gives me more energy. It's refreshing to have that back and forth, back and forth. And believe me, I get pissed off at some of these female pesoettes also.
Mhm.
Some of them have been, quite rude and disrespectful.
Right.
Yeah, quite is the best I could say. And they got me. I was actually like tight for a couple of days at home, like spitting tight because I was like, but I have to calm myself because I know the power of my thought,
Mhm.
and I don't want anybody to, nah. Like I said, it's not that important. It's not that critical. But I don't know what the fuck a mammy is. Excuse me, YouTube. What the frig a mammy is? I ain't one
Right.
at all, at all. But I love my family. I love my children. But I'm not above distancing myself from anybody. Anybody. I worked with men in the facility for years. I worked with men in the corporate area for years. I went to college with men. I went to all women's college that shared a campus with a men's college. I know what it is, the fight between the sexes. I've been there through it,
Right.
and we still having the same conversation, but now it's pointed. It's never been like this, where it's black men going against black women.
I really don't know where this bread's from. I mean, I do.
We know where it came.
I know, but
Hmm.
it's just like,
It's just so disheartening.
hmm
It really, really, really is, and it's like you get attacked for all that you've done to survive, and you get attacked if you're a gold digger. What the hell?
hmm
We can't do the same way they feel that they can't do nothing right for us. We feel the same way.
right.
There's hurt on both sides, and just accept that, acknowledge it, take accountability for it. If write it down, write a letter to her or whoever it is that hurts you or him. Don't mail it or mail it, burn it, whatever the hell. Forgive yourself for liking that person. Forgive yourself for loving that person. Understand it was part of the lesson. It was part of the journey. And if you keep being mad and keep being unforgiving, you're going to keep repeating that same lesson until you realize it's a lesson.
hmm
It might take you 5 times, it might take you 2 times, it might take you 30 years, it might take you 60. But then when your work is done, you'll know.
Right.
You'll feel better about yourself.
That's true.
You'll be able to let it go. You're letting people that hurt you take up rent in your head. If you hate them so much, why are they important?
hmm
Why are you letting that hurt affect the relationships you have or has the potential to have now with people who really love you, who mean to do well and good by you, male or female? We have to stop, being defensive on both sides and
Very
stop
true.
attacking the people who are willing to step up to the plate. Don't stop calling guys pookies and sips and stop disparaging each other as men, even to
hmm
make yourselves feel better about yourself. We know there's some things you can't control. There's some shortcomings that you can't control. We know that, and that's a whole different thing. But for the majority of you guys, you can do better.
Yeah.
You shouldn't need Kevin Samuels to tell you how to wipe your butt and how to brush your teeth and how to make yourself smell good. But some of you need that. Okay, we appreciate that. Now you know that you can get away with 14 shirts and 20 ties and live with a couple of blazers. There are all kinds of people giving away that information that isn't talking bad about black women. You know what I'm saying? There
Yeah.
are kinds of things that you can get that information without that. It's out there. You need a personal shopper, Macy's will do that for you. It ain't gonna cost you $10,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, you gentlemen, stop getting snookered.
hmm
You're being taken advantage of. If you have disposable wealth, God bless you. But you can dispose of it elsewhere. Go get yourself a suit made. It's less than $10,000. Guarantee you. You deserve it, right? You work
Right.
hard. Take care of yourselves, gentlemen. I don't think there's anybody telling y'all not to do anything to make yourselves feel better, including travel. Just talking bad about black women. And that's it. That's all. Okay, Andre, thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay. And I'll talk to everybody real soon.
Okay.
Peace.
You have a blessed night.
Thank you. You too, baby.
Thank you.